whoop, inside the 20 down to the 15. Scotty Simonson.
Scotty, no, that was Red Ellison.
Oh, was it? Too bad. I wanted it to
Red
be
Ellison.
Simonson.
I'm surprised it wasn't.
You're right.
I'm surprised it wasn't Scott Simonson. Eli's favorite wide receiver.
Scott Simonson says. Nice little juke move by Ellison. Picked up around 9 on first down. The Giants will now have a 2nd and 1. Chewing up some clock. 11 minutes left.
They're spreading out.
First quarter.
3 wide receivers.
Eli back out of the gun. Trips left. And now he comes under center. Rod Smith's the back. Takes the snap. Hands it off to the right. Smith looks to bounce outside. Now comes inside. Gets to the marker. Doesn't get more than that, but looks like he did enough to get the first down.
Give him the first down. First down. I'll tell you what, there's really some space for Rod Smith on this football team because that spot behind Saquon Barkley is right for the taking. And Rod Smith certainly looks like he's making the most of that opportunity to put some good tape.
Well, Rod Smith gives you something that, so if you're looking for your backup backs behind Barkley, Rod Smith gives you something that Perkins and Gallman doesn't. He gives you power. And, that could be beneficial for the Giants, down the line. And out of the gun here, handoff, looks like it might have been bobbled a little and then chewed up and no gain whatsoever on that first down attempt. That was Smith again on the carry.
That's what we get for singing praises.
Hey, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Remember now, Giant fans, these two teams play in the regular season. So, you're not going to get a lot of trickeration offensively or defensively. They're going to play very straight up because they don't want to tip their hand come the regular season. And not a lot of game planning going on in today's game as well. Trips left, Eli out of the gun, no backs, 1 wide receiver to the right. Looks like it might have been Smith. Complete over the middle on a quick slant to Tate. He's thrown backwards, but they'll give him his forward progress inside the 10, down to maybe the 7 or the 8, Justin. Not sure where they'll mark that then.
Yeah, it looked like about the 7. Oh, they gave him a little bit more than that.
And it looks like it'll set up a 3rd, and Bob Papa said 5. The TV says 4. We'll call it 4.5.
That's
on a 3rd down for Eli Manning. Now, this is big. You don't want to settle for a field goal. You want to get 7 on the board if you're a Giants fan. Giants have struggled in the past, so let's see what Eli can do here. Out of the shotgun, back is to his right, 3 wide receivers to his left. Takes the snap, he's looking left, he throws underneath, complete, breaking a tackle, and into the end zone is Benny Fowler. Caught the ball at around the 4, got hit, bumped off of it, smoothly runs into the end zone. Justin, 6-0 Giants.
6-0 Giants. And, Benny Fowler, we've heard reports out of camp all year long that Benny Fowler has been making quite the name for himself and, making the most of the opportunity. There, bounces off a tackle quite nicely. Over the past few seasons, we've seen Giants players go down with initial contact, but bounces off the tackle nicely and scampers into the end zone.
Nope, good route. Eli came out looking left, looked like he had the inside route, hit Fowler in stride. Nice throw. Fowler took a little shot, bumped off of it, and meanders into the end zone, where the Giants, with the extra point now good, take a 7-0 lead as we go to our first commercial break. So, Justin, nothing more that you could want from the first team offense, right? They're lining up against the second team, right? They come down, they convert some 3rd downs, they make some plays, they complete some passes, they get some runs, and they put the ball in the end zone, the most important part, and walk away with 6 points. So I think if you're looking at this game from a Giant perspective, the starting offense did exactly what they wanted to do. You're happy about that considering the competition. Don't go crazy on Giants Twitter. Take a big, deep breath. It was against the second team. They did their job. Now let's see Daniel Jones for the rest of the game.
Yeah, there's no reason to – I think, Eli throws a touchdown on that first drive. Get him out of there.
I do think for as much as a preseason drive against a second team defense can mean, I do think that was an important drive for Eli Manning at this point.
100%.
Right? Like, I don't, he's been taking a beating. I know I've added on to that beating. So Eli, considering if he would have came out and looked terrible against the second team defense, wow, right? Like the
Right.
world ended for Giants Nation. He comes out, he does his job, he gets him into the end zone, he gets to walk off and have a week of peace and quiet now, and can go about just getting ready for the dress rehearsal in week 3 of preseason.
I think that, that's sort of what you have to expect, right? The Giants can't control who the Bears decide to play.
No,
Reports out of Bears camp this week were that they had a lively scrimmage, earlier in the week, and that's why they chose not to play the starters tonight. But if you're the Giants, you can only do what you can do, right? It's like they say,
no, yeah.
you can only play
And
the
and
schedule
I
in
think
front of
the,
you.
the
So
onus falls on us as Giant fans, right, to not make too much of what we just saw. What we
to,
just saw against the second team defense should be expected. Our starting offense and our starting quarterback, who's making 23 million, marched down the field against backups and scored a touchdown. That's exactly what he was supposed to do. So don't get
right.
too high, don't get too low. We can rest it on Eli for a week now. We saw that he was able to get the ball down the field. He was accurate with his passes. He got some good protection. So, let those sleeping dogs lie. Now we move on to the next thing, and hopefully that's the progression of Daniel Jones. But the Eli Manning can rest for a week. We saw what we needed to see, and we should be happy about that. Not overboard, but at least happy.
I tell you what, I'm much happier through a game and a quarter of this preseason than I was at any point during last preseason.
Well,
We didn't score a touchdown until the third quarter of game 3 last year.
see, I never try to really give a shit too much about the preseason. Like if it goes really bad or really
No, but
good. I mean, how many
you
times do you
still
see teams come out and light it up in preseason? They go 3-1, 4-0, and then they struggle during the regular season. And then you see teams struggling, like, oh my God, this team, they look lost, and then they show up on week 1 and the offense is moving the ball. So I don't try to get too high or too low, but it is encouraging, Justin, when you see some good play as opposed to just the bad. So here's the Bears. Play action by, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but we'll get to that in a second. Rolling right now, gets out of bounds after maybe a gain of 1. Good pressure by the Giants D, and that was Chase Daniel,
Chase
who the
Daniel.
Giants beat last year here in this very stadium against this Bear team.
Yeah. To me, that was the game when Landon Collins' career as a Giant ended when he got roasted by Tariq Cohen. But I don't know if we want to talk about that tonight.
Was that the alligator arm game, by the way?
It was the alligator arms, by the way. I guess it
It
was
was the alligator arm.
one
All
thousand
right.
percent. We have memories like elephants here at Bleed Big Blue.
Second down and 9. Chase Daniel out of the gun, takes the snap, lofts it down the left sideline, incomplete. Overthrew his man. Good coverage. Looked like Haley, possibly.
Grant Haley, number 34.
Looked like they were trying to get the slot guy up the sideline. Haley played it well. Good push by Lawrence in the middle. Daniel had time to get rid of it and just overshot his receiver. Didn't give him a play on it.
Tell you what.
Close call by Carter coming in as he got his hand up by Chase Daniel's helmet. And now they call that, Justin?
I saw the flag.
First and
So
10. They
now it's
did.
first and 10, so they did
So
call
they
it.
caught Carter. Carter came in, put some good pressure, got his hands up, didn't intentionally do it, but his hand hit the helmet, and it cost the Giants 15 yards and gets the Bears a first down. Good penetration by the Giants D right there as they smother up the running back. No gain, maybe a loss of 1. Then bring up a second and long for the Bears.
They disheveled his shoulder pad.
May want to
Number
get that straight
35.
before the next play.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that again, Jimmy, to sort of mirror what you were saying before, that's a great thing for Lorenzo Carter to get some bad on tape, right? And to learn from that experience to keep your hands down and try to stay away from the helmet area.
Yeah, I mean it's always nice. Like I mean, I'm sure he knew that, right? Like I'm sure that if you asked Lorenzo Carter, can you touch the quarterback's head? He probably knows the rule is no, I can't go near it. But when your body's flying in at 100 miles an hour, and you're trying to get the ball and make a play, sometimes your hand is going to be up like that, and you're not going to be able to react or get that hand away, and you may make contact with the quarterback's head. So for that to happen in preseason, and Bet should be able to go back during the week and say, hey, we understand that you're flying around and you're playing impulsive, and that's great. but you still got to have your head and be aware that your hands are too high and we don't want to cost ourselves 15 yards. So not a negative right there. Giants shot the gap, missed, and a running back was able to get up the sideline for the Bears, get a first down on a nice little run, but Thea looks like he might have knocked him out there. So let's see who made the penetration, and it was our man Conley. So Conley with a great job here of reading. He might have taken the inside gap as opposed to the outside gap, which would have got him right there. He might have read the wrong gap there, Justin, from that angle. I'm not sure. We're not the defensive coordinator, but good anticipation. Another thing that they can fix on film. So, not a bad thing when you talk about this being preseason. Out of the gun now, 1st and 10 for the Bears at the Giant 39. Daniel in the gun, throws right and has a man complete inside the 35, not quite to the 30. Looks like it'll set up a second down and short at around 31-yard line.
2nd and 2 to be exact. Corner was right there, ready to make the play. Just a good throw. Nice timing route from the Bears.
So Daniel doing his job with the second team offense, moving the ball up the field. For the most part, this looks like what might be the Giants' starting offense. So take that as you will. Hand off to the left, and the Giants get there and smother him up. Nice play, pursuing from the backside by Carter, it looked like. And it'll be no gain.
3rd and 2. A money
and
down.
I was incorrect. It looks like it might have been Kareem Martin tracking him down from that backside.
I'm expecting nice things from Kareem Martin this year. He had his ups and downs last year. He had phases where he played well, but
3rd and 2. Let's get off the field. Let's go. Handoff to the right. Giants. They hit him behind the line and he spins forward. Carter got there first. He had some help, and then he spins forward for a first down. Gain of around 3, maybe 4 with the spot, depending on where they mark. But definitely a first down with 4:20 left in the first.
There's James Betcher. Has to be a little less than enthused about the way that his starting defense is playing against a second team offense.
I would imagine so. Little play action, dump out to the left, and Giants do a good job of not being fooled and getting there. Jenkins and Peppers are able to make the stop, gain of a couple, maybe
Riley
3.
Ridley with the reception. I wanted Riley Ridley in the draft.
He was on my list. I had him in a couple of mocks. I think he's a good talent.
Little pistol action from the Bears.
With Daniel out of the gun. He stands at the 30. The ball's just outside the 25. Little reverse here. Fake the dive, pitch it around, and the Giants, decent job. Not a big gain. They get around maybe 2 or 3 again. It's going to set up a 3rd down. So the Giants not completely fooled by the reverse. Good job of sniffing it out. They call it a gain of 2, and it'll set up a 3rd and 5 for the Bears at around the Giant 24, maybe 25-yard line.
Jack Rabbit and Bethea were there on the stop. And 3rd and 5.
So another opportunity here for the Giants' first-team defense against the Bears' second-team offense to get off the field. 3rd and 5. Daniel now changing something. He's out of the gun. He has it back to his right. Takes the snap. In the pocket. Throws now down the right sideline. Incomplete. Wanted the back on a little wheel route and completely overthrew him. And the Giants are able to hold and will force a field goal attempt for the Bears.
Field goal attempt.
Bend, don't break. Force the field goal. Not all that encouraging against the Bears' second-team offense, Justin. But guess what? It's preseason. I'm not going to go crazy about it.
Well, this is what the Bears want to see is how their kicker is doing. It's well documented that they've had a lot of kicking issues, and the kicker steps up and pounds one through the uprights on a non-pressure kick.
So he puts it through, goes through without an issue, and the Giants will have a 73 lead as we look forward to what should be the first possession of Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones. Hey, Justin,
Yeah.
have you heard about what our former New York Giant, two-time Super Bowl champion Leonard Marshall is up to these days?
I think you're gonna tell me.
So Leonard Marshall is working with a company called Alexinol. Alexinol was founded by a group of passionate leaders committed to being a leading worldwide manufacturer and distributor of cannabis products. They have over 20 years of relationship with hemp farmers around the globe. They give you everything from powders to teas to lotions. You look for it, they need it. And CBD can help with a ton of your issues, medical issues that you have, and ailments that you're dealing with, from the most common of things to some more serious medical problems, Justin. And if you are interested in learning more about Alexinol and looking at the company that Leonard Marshall is working with and doing wonderful things with for their customers and patients, you can find it at Alexinol.com. That's Alexinol, ELIXINOL.com.
That's a great read.
Thanks, bud.
Well done.
Thanks, bud.
Well done.
I'm just doing my due diligence here for Giants Nation.
Yeah. I mean, CBD and Pepper Johnson
Well, that was Leonard Marshall.
or Leonard Marshall.
That was Leonard Marshall.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Marshall.
We'll get to Pepper in a little bit.
We'll
but
get to Pepper in a
yeah,
minute.
Pepper's up to some good things too.
Yeah.
As are a bunch of other guys. But the CBD stuff is really taken off, and I guess what led Marshall to that had a lot to do with the CTE that a lot of the older players are dealing with. And some of those, when I was talking about some of the more serious ailments that people might be dealing with, you know, those are some of them where Leonard Marshall is educating and helping people through CBD who are dealing with ailments like that, even to the most common of aches and pains. So he's doing a lot of good work. Check it out, Alexinol.com. As the Giant game is back, and we are awaiting the kickoff for hopefully Mr. Jones to come on out and show us what he got in week 2 against this Bears defense. So again, Ballantyne back to receive. Takes it from around the 1, or maybe out of the goal line, moves out to the 20, and maybe makes it to the 24 before he's pushed out of bounds. And that's where Daniel Jones and the Giants will take over on their second drive of the game. I'm assuming it's Daniel Jones because I live in reality. I have not seen Daniel Jones or Eli take the field, if you're listening. So we will see what happens when they show us on the tele. And it is Daniel Jones from the Giant 24. 2 backs, man in motion to the line of scrimmage, handoff. It's to Smith and a nice run. Giant offensive line getting a good push out to around the 30, gain of around 6, 2nd and 4 for DJ.
Tell you what, Rod Smith, again, making the most of his opportunity. Nice run through the middle.
It's also, can we just, he's making the most of his opportunities, but I don't know really how impressed I am against the second team defense with the first team offensive line. So like I'm taking this, everything I see, with a grain of salt. But yes, Rod Smith, considering the competition that's out there, he's playing well. And he takes the handoff here and now makes a nice move. Was initially stuffed in the backfield. Looks like the linebacker came up, hit Penny, stuffed him in the hole. Smith ran into him and then was able to readjust, get back up the field for a nice game, including a first down. But there's a flag down, and we'll check it. Holding against the Giants. So fuck everything I just said. 1:33 left, if you give a shit, here in the first quarter. Giants lead 7-3. Eli went straight down the field on the first drive with the Giants starters against the Bears second team offense. Did what he had to do. Had a touchdown pass to Benny Fowler. The Giant defense, second team Bears offense against the Giant starters, came down, got a field goal. And now on a 2nd down and 14, we're going to see Daniel Jones sling it a little bit after the holding penalty on the Smith run. So Jones out of the gun, 3 wide receivers and a running back to his right. Takes the snap, now in the pocket, throws to his right. Nice throw, complete on the money, and it's going to be out for a first down, and that's Benny Fowler with the completion and a nice little run after the catch to convert the first down. Gain of around maybe 16 or 17, Justin, on that, huh?
Absolutely. He's 3 yards past the first down marker, 2nd and 14. What I like about Jones through this point in the preseason is all the throws are on time.
Well, here's what I'm going to say, and I'll get to it as he goes play action here, back in the pocket. Looks like he might have been looking downfield, and then the smart decision, if he didn't have it, checks it down to Rod Smith, gets the completion, gets a couple of yards, maybe around 4. It looks like that'll be the last play of the first quarter, setting up the Giants on a 2nd and 6 when we get back from the break. I'll tell you what I like, right? You know me, right? I'm always looking for, I wouldn't say the negative, but there's always a flip side of the coin with me, right?
Sure.
I'm very curious to see what happens when defenses start taking away his first read, right? Like I want to see him have to go through his progressions when what he does, when what he wants isn't there. But here's what I will say from what I've seen out of the first handful of throws that we've seen from Daniel Jones. When he knows where he wants to go and it's there, he throws a pretty nice ball intermediately from what I've seen so far. So that's what I'll say, right? Knowing the bigger picture is to come, Justin, right? Like there's a lot of things that we still need to see. Let's not go crazy. It looks like when he knows where he wants to go and it's there, he has no problem getting the ball there.
I think that, you know, he's shown good poise in the moment to, he's not afraid to step up and sling it, and he has confidence about where the ball's supposed to be. Which, considering that he's thrown 7 passes in his NFL career, at this point in this stage of his career, you could make an argument that that is, all you could really ask for. And we know that these defenses are vanilla, so that's why we take everything with a grain of salt. But the ball is where it's supposed to be, and it's on time, and
that's all you
it's
can ask
accurate.
for.
Yeah,
That's all you can ask for, right? Like when the defenses start throwing other shit at him, and then we can see that stuff and how he progresses through that and how he handles that, then we'll talk about that. But for what we're seeing right now, right? I mean, this is football in front of us. We're gonna make our, we're gonna have our point of views here. We're gonna try to be objective, and I think it's fair, right? I wouldn't say it's being negative or shitting on anybody to say like, okay, we know the defense is vanilla. We know it's the second team, but we can still give him credit for throwing a good ball when he knows where he wants to go with it when he has that, right? So I think you could take the good with the unknown, not necessarily the bad, but we have the good, and then there's still the unknown that we have to see, and that's just normal in the course of a young quarterback's career.
Bob, he sells discount furniture.
Hey, Bob's not paying us, or he has no vested interest. He's never been on our thing, so screw Bob. I don't want to talk. Well, let's just fuck Bob. If we're going to talk about anything having to do with home decor, let's talk about Flying Colors Painting.
Yeah, Steven Totillo.
Steven.
He's a great
in
painter.
Fairfield, Connecticut, who was kind enough to send us to LT's 60th birthday, owns a company. If you're in Connecticut, if you need some work around the house, if you need some painting done, if you need some remodeling done, go to flyingcolorspainters.com in Connecticut, and Steven will hook you up.
God, you would think
him
that we had that
Bleed
queued
Big
up.
Blue sent you. So here's Daniel Jones, 2nd and 6 at the start of the second quarter. Giants ball at their own 41. They're going left to right on from your television here, on your TV. Jones is going to take a shot downfield. And he's got a man. And did he hold on? Good ball. Got it. Complete. First down. Latimer. Beautiful ball by Daniel Jones up the left sideline. Pretty big gain. We'll check it exactly. It has to be around 30 plus.
I think it's close to 40. Both feet are in for Cody Latimer. And
Beautiful job.
You know what I like about that throw? Again, it's where the throw is. The throw was made while the cornerback's back was turned, right? He didn't get around, but the ball was in a place where only the receiver could get it. And Cody Latimer went up and high pointed the ball, and here we are.
Ah, shit. And Jones muffs the snap, and it's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Bears. So, you know what, though, Justin? Fuck it. I guarantee you that is all nerves, right? Like, that's like, let's fucking go. Like, I just made a nice ball. I had good anticipation, right? The guy necessarily didn't beat, like, Latimer didn't flat out beat him. That was, I see my guy has leverage. I see he has a little bit of a step. I'm going to throw the ball up and allow that guy to make a play. And I can see that after you do that for the first time in the NFL, because that's the first time that we've seen him throw a ball like that in the NFL, that you come down and you're fired up. Now it's a running play, and you can't wait to get that play off, and he gets a little anxious, and the ball comes out, and the Bears recover. Again, preseason, if he's going to do it, let him put the bad on tape now. Let him get that reminder from his coaches like, hey, buddy, calm the fuck down next time. Get the snap. Make sure you have it. Can't hand it off without having the ball. So they'll go over that. But if it's going to happen, let it happen now. Doesn't take away from what he did, right?
100% it does not. If you look at that play that the fumble was on, I think it was a stretch run to the opposite side of the field, right? So you're looking at Jones. He's got to sprint to the opposite direction, and he just got a little excited. You know, he had made a great anticipatory throw on the play before. You know, he did what he was supposed to do as a quarterback, put the ball in a position where only his receiver could go and get it.
Yep.
And we'd be excited too.
Yeah, sure. Dude, yeah, without a doubt. I can see that happening. And if it's, like I said, if it's going to happen, I'd rather it happen now. So I'm so excited by that throw he made that I don't give a shit about the fumble.
No, the fumble doesn't matter.
That was the best throw that he's made in the preseason so far.
And he's 8 for 8 in his NFL career. 61
Full
yards
bloom
tonight.
of full bloom love, Justin.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. We said last week, and I'll say it again, but it
Check the
moved a little
resume.
bit. It moved a
Check
little
the
bit.
resume.
Yeah.
Check the resume. Did you see the T-shirts that were designed?
I did.
We're going to put those out, actually. So if you're listening and you've been one of the people busting my balls for T-shirts, we have, it doesn't say check the resume. You got a little check the box, check, and then the resume to the right of that with bleedbigblue.com delicately placed underneath it. So I fucking love it, and I can't wait to do it. And I want to put more Gettleman quotes on T-shirts.
Yeah. That's right. Now let's have the defense make a play.
Would be nice. Would be nice to see one of these kids make a play. Daniel on a quick slant, complete out to the 30. Easy completion. Got around 6. Completion is against Hamilton. So I want to be correct here because we gave Steve a shout out, right, for flyingcolorpainters.com,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if it was exactly, what the website was. So it's not painting, it's flyingcolorspainters.com. And you could reach out to Steven via his email if you are in Fairfield in the Connecticut area at flyingcolorspainters@gmail.com. So what happened, Justin? You saw it. I was promoting.
Oh,
What do we got?
Marcus Golden comes off the edge and sacks Chase Daniel off the blind side. Just a nice
There it
power
is.
rush over the tight end and made a play.
Nice play. And it'll set up a 3rd and long for the Bears. Giant defense trying to get off the field.
3rd and 12. Great opportunity to get off the field and get Daniel Jones back on it.
You are 100% correct, sir. We want to see more of Mr. Jones.
Oh,
Beautiful
move
spin move
Lorenzo
on the
Carter.
rush, and then forces the throw incomplete. So Carter with the rush up the field, then spun back to the middle. Daniel had to slide off his spot and get rid of the ball. and he threw it incomplete. Now there's a flag along with it, and the camera's on Haley, so you don't like that as a Giant fan, but let's check it. And there you go,
Holding.
beautiful. We don't assume because we don't want to make an ass out of you and me, and we were right not to do so. Holding against the Bears, and it looks like the Giants will decline it and get the ball back. Most encouraging thing about that is the move that Carter just made to get to put some pressure on.
That was a grade A spin move from Lorenzo
Yes,
Carter.
agreed.
Looked like Robert Mathis back from those days in the Colts with the Colts. T.J. Jones.
Justin, how last week they said that as the puff is the mun is they fucking muffed the punt.
the
I got so pissed off I couldn't even say it, and it's preseason, right?
the munt is puffed.
The muff fucking muff. I hate when they muff punts. That's so catch the goddamn ball. I hate that. So frustrating.
Well, that's all they do. They stand back there and catch punts all practice
Just
long.
catch the fucking ball. What are you muffing the punt for?
Yeah.
Don't muff the punt. You never want to mess with the muff.
Well,
you know. So there you go. But I wonder if last week we heard that with Daniel Jones, they wanted to see him with the first team offensive line, right? And the reason why he didn't come back out after the delay was because they didn't bring the first team offensive line back. That they didn't want to put him out there with the backups. Like, do you care about that? Like, to me, like I don't need to see for this drive. Like, you could take the first team offensive line out. I still want to see Daniel Jones.
1,000%. I think where you want to be careful, where I would want to be careful if I was a head coach or an offensive coordinator that was, scheduling the preseason playing time, is I want to make sure that if Daniel Jones is with a second team offensive line, that the second or third string opposing defense is in. You don't want to have him in a scenario where he's going against a first string defense with second string players. But I think at this point, we're far enough in this game that the players
the
that
Bears
are
didn't
in this
play any of
game
their starters,
are
so I mean he's got
not a
so
problem.
let him play, right? Like, I want to
Yeah.
see him play, and I'll tell you the truth. Like I don't need to see Tanny. Like, if anything, I wouldn't mind seeing Laletta. Now what probably happens is Jones gets the rest of this quarter, I would assume, and then Tanny and then Laletta, right?
Correct.
What I would rather see, because I mean, let's go with what the owner said: best long term, your best interest in the long term of the franchise. Like, let me see Daniel Jones go to halftime, experience going to halftime, making adjustments, coming out and playing half a third quarter with the second team, and then going to Laletta from midway through the third quarter to the end of the game. So
Sure.
I'm seeing my draft picks. I'm not seeing the 31-year-old Tanny. I know I fucking have. I know what I got. I'm seeing my young kids. I mean, wouldn't that make more sense?
It would. And I think, the more snaps that you can get Daniel Jones in this sandbox environment, the better off that you're going to be.
The more you can put on film. Jones, play action, throws left and comes up short. Good coverage by the Bears there. Had some time. Looks like he might have had the check down. Tried to force it outside and came up a little short. And Daniel Jones stopped the pressures. Giants Twitter goes wild. It's an incomplete pass from Daniel Jones.
I don't know. I will say what's interesting here is we have second team in across the board, and Golden Tate's out wide.
Well, why not? He's going to be out the fucking month. Why not let him play?
Yeah.
So handoff to the left. This is to Perkins, and he doesn't get to the 40, out to around the 39. It'll be 3rd and 8. Don't mind seeing this. A must throw for Daniel Jones, a 3rd and long. Let's see if he can convert it here for the Giants.
I think, it's interesting that, the way that they've sort of strategized around some players The other player that was a non-play today, coach's decision, is Evan Ingram. They maybe rightfully are starting to realize that he might be too valuable of an asset to put out here in this sort of environment.
And Jones takes the snap. He's in the pocket and he throws over the middle looking for Jones and incomplete. Good coverage. And Carl Banks just said it. Daniel Jones getting a little tighter coverage now. The windows are a little tighter. And there's a pass comes up short to the left, and then that pass, not really a good one, and knocked away incomplete. But live to play another day, Daniel Jones. No turnovers, no silly plays, and the Giants will punt. And it is fielded by the Bears inside the 20-19, going the wrong way. Now inside the 10, there's a flag
There's a
down, and
block
the
in the
Giants
back.
with great coverage, wrapping them up at around the 7-yard line. A huge loss after the punt was fielded. A terrible play. That's a fucking way to get cut. And the Giants go for the throat, track them down, tackle them inside the 10, and now we'll check the flag, which may even push them back a little more.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have the ball around the 3, maybe the 4-yard line. It looked like a block in the back to me as he was trying to reverse his field to the near side here.
We'll see what happens. But regardless, Chicago is going to be pinned, and they're going to have to at least go 90, unless the flag is against the Giants. Let's check. I'm just going to shut my mouth. I don't want to touch the money here. We're waiting for the call. Pardon our silence. I got this flag, and I got a bunch of people walking around. Nobody is fucking saying anything. The camera's on Riley Dixon for some reason. I don't know why it's on him. It should be on the guy that ran back and say how this is going to be his last time ever on national television because he's about to get sliced. And still, I don't know what this flag could be. This is the weirdest thing. So now we'll know what it is, and it's still they got to him late, so it's definitely against.
It was a
Personal foul.
It was a personal foul for not coming back in from out of bounds, and I guess
Okay.
from where
Yeah, because I was wondering why it would have been declined, and that's why. So
well,
okay, that makes sense.
the penalty there is half the distance from where the ball is caught, and the ball was caught
Yes.
at the 20. So we would have gotten the ball at the 10, and now
So
they
you
have the ball
plus
at the 7.
yards with the
Yeah,
results of the play, so you declined the penalty.
100%.
BEA, beautiful. Hey, Justin,
Yeah,
have you ever heard of thiamine?
thiamine. That's a big word. It sounds pretty scientific.
So all living organisms use thiamine, right?
You don't say.
For humans, it is an essential nutrient.
Oh,
So our
I do
buddy
like my
Pepper
nutrients.
Johnson, two-time Super Bowl champion, who's been
There's
kind
my
enough to
guy.
join us on the podcast, right? He's working with a company called the B1 Patch. And you can go to buyb1.com, put in the code PEP52 to help Pep out, right? But this
B1.
patch is containing 75 milligrams of pure thiamine that will help you feel your best throughout the day. Thiamine is also used for boosting the immune system, reducing heart disease, improving athletic performance. B1 increases energy, it fights stress, it adds in preventing memory loss due to early onset of Alzheimer's disease. Thiamine is involved in all bodily functions, including the nervous system and daily muscle function. And a lack and deficiency of thiamine can cause weakness, fatigue, psychosis, and nerve damage. Again, go over to buyb1.com, check this out, put in the code PEP52 for our buddy Pep Johnson. The B1 patch, get yours today.
I mean, it sounds like you need thiamine to be successful in life.
The fucking commercials, Justin.
Yeah. I saw a
I got to
guy.
tell you, out of all the cool shit the old-time Giants we've spoken to um, are doing with the Alexanol and the B1 patch. The one I get to next, I think, is phenomenal by our buddy Mark Collins. And we'll get to that during our next commercial break. But that is
Mark,
what they're doing in reference to college recruiting for high school athletes is phenomenal. And we'll give you the specifics of that coming up. So here's the Giant defense trying to get this crowd riled up, even though it's a preseason game. Everybody just there for the show. A couple of crazy maniacs trying to get the crowd riled up. Justin, you see them? I
I
remember
do.
I remember when I had my first beer.
Yeah,
So
crazy kid.
So at the 4,
I would
Justin,
send that.
that would mean that they accepted the penalty, right? Because he was tackled at the 7.
Yeah,
Little movement up front. We'll check that. They're going to blow this dead, right?
maybe
What happened there?
maybe they realized that the penalty should have been from the end of the play, and then the Giants had the opportunity to take it.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be it, because if there was 7 half the distance, you're going to around the 4, so that would make sense, and you would assume that the Giants took it because the play was dead at the 7. So the flag here looks like it is against the Bears,
False start.
and so from the 4, that'll push them back now to the 2.
I would send the house here and try to get 2 points.
Oh, send everybody. And here we go. So 2 tight end set, 1 back. Hand off to the left, and the Giants stuff him. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Interviewing Evan Ingram right now, if you're watching.
I wish I could grow hair like that. He looks like, you know who he looks like? Who is
Justin, did you just get just read that inbox? Complete out to the right and pushed out of bounds. Did you, Justin, go look at what Marco just sent us in the private chat. That made my night. So listen to me. Yardley Moise. Moisey. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that the right way. Right? You're listening on YouTube. I got to let you know, bro. He says, I'm currently in the Middle East right now, deployment with the New Jersey National Guard. I just want to show love to the best Giants channel. Keep hope alive. 10-6 this season. I could feel it. Let me say, Yardley, bro, we love you. The $10, thank you for the donation to the live chat, bro. We appreciate it. My man, listen, thank you for your service. Be safe out there. Let everyone know, even if they're not Giant fans, let everyone know we love them and we support them over there with whatever they're doing. Thank you for listening so much. And more importantly, thank you what you do for our country. So Yardley, I hope I'm pronouncing, I'm just going to say Yardley. If you're Moise, Moisey, I'm going to say, buddy, thank you so much. We love you here at Bleed Big Blue Nation. 10-6 from your mouth to God's ears, buddy. We can use it after the last couple of years. But Justin, is that not fucking awesome?
That's amazing. And I have to say, really, really awesome and humbling to think that you would spend the little bit of free time that you have, out there doing what you're doing for us day in and day out, listening to us talk about what we love. And I just want to say we appreciate you and all that you do for us on a daily basis.
Yeah, beautifully said. And thank you, Yardley. And just so you know, and any other Giant fans that may be with you that can't watch the games, if you know them, you can let them know that we're going to be here with you. Maybe not the next 2 preseason games because they're not nationally televised. We don't live in New York, right? So we're all over the country. We're from New York, right? Don't get it twisted, but we're not living in New York now. We've gone on with our lives. We're big boys. But so we will bring these games the regular season. I have purchased Direct TV for the fans and selfishly myself, and we will be bringing you every game live here throughout the course of the season. So if they go 10-6, we'll be with you every step of the way. And again, thank you for what you do and thank you for your service. Hey, Justin, remember when I was telling you about Super Bowl champion 2 times over, Mark Collins?
Yeah. Tell me
So,
about Mark.
so Mark Collins knows what it takes to make the team. He has assembled a
I would
team of
say so.
industry leaders, recruiters, and coaches to drive young athletes to achieve their goals, obtain scholarships, and always give 110%, right? So, college coaches do not have enough in their budget to evaluate and recruit over 5 million high school athletes across the country and even outside the United States, right? Qualified athletes miss out on scholarships because they haven't done enough to get recruited at 25sports.com. That's 25, the numbers 25, IVE sports.com. 25 is in Mark Collins, number 25. Uh, they put you in front of NCAA and NAIA coaches and provide you with the right tools that help you get recruited. So no matter your sport, check out 25 Sports. That's the numbers 25 IVE sports.com. Get in contact with them and see how you can get your tape out to college coaches today.
A lot of good Giants legends doing a lot of great things in the community.
That's a pretty cool thing, man.
Yeah.
That's a
You
pretty
know,
could service, right? I mean,
paying it
there's
forward.
probably a lot of kids that don't get recruited. Maybe they play in small high schools. Maybe they play in areas that aren't highly recruited where they don't get a lot of fanfare, and it gives them an opportunity to take their tape and put it in front of coaches who may never have seen them before, and maybe put them in a situation where they can get an education for free and get an opportunity that they might not have elsewhere. So a really great thing that Mark Collins is doing over at 25sports.com. And we appreciate Mark and Pepper and all the guys who have joined us in the past here on the show. So Giants will get the ball back as they get the punt inside their own 35, fielded and now brought out to around the 44-yard line.
Interesting thing as we came back from break, uh, they were saying that Matt Nagy had challenged whether or not Corey Ballantyne had interfered with the Bears wide receiver down the field at the end of that third down play,
Oh,
in
how
the
about that?
hopes in the hopes that it would be offsetting penalties that would allow the Bears to replay third down. So that's just another way that this challenge process could come into play. Where you might take a chance on a play like that to get an opportunity to replay it down.
Well, Justin, what was the rule that didn't they try something out in preseason a couple of years ago or years ago where they tried it out in preseason and they didn't and like they didn't implement it during the regular season and they like then they discussed it if they were going to do I forget what it was but like from what I've seen of this replay rule this sucks. Handoff from Jones to Perkins, nice run, good burst, gain of around 9 for Perkins
Right up the
on a
middle,
solid run right there. Good
slithering up
burst
the
through
middle,
the
Paul
left side.
Perkins.
But time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. So 2nd and 1 coming up for the Giants here, as we'll change the topic. Move along. 9.5 left, second quarter. Daniel Jones still in the game.
Simonson in
And he
motion.
hands it back off to Perkins, and he has a first down with a nice run of around 5, maybe 6, but there's a flag in, and we'll check it. From what I've seen from this of this instant replay with the pass interference, it absolutely sucks. Holding against the Giants will negate the first down, push it back, will be 2nd and 11. But I don't like it. I think it's going to prolong the game. I'm willing to deal with the bad. Like there was some like to me, it's like don't make the game worse, make the refs better, right? So maybe you add a referee to it, or you put a referee in the booth that has complete just oversight to be able to look at the replay and stop the game when he wants to overturn a call, right? Like I think you don't put it in the coach's hands, you put it in a third party's hands that can sit in the booth as looks like
Hits
the ball is
hits
dropped
Simonson
by
in the hands.
Simonson at the 39-yard line. Hit him in the hands and the ball was dropped. Maybe they want to
Hey,
rethink that waiver
hey
claim.
Simonson,
Jones
I know that
Jones
you're
put it
not
right
listening
there
right
on him when he
now,
dropped it.
but go back and listen to the show from Wednesday. I don't like you, Simonson, and you didn't help your cause there, buddy.
You leave my Simonson alone. So I think that you could put somebody in the booth that can do what you want done in situations where, as now the ball is swatted away from Jones and picked up by the Bears off a good bounce. Held on to the ball a little too long there. Going to be honest. Looked like he had
Yeah.
some time. The pressure came. Jones held on to it a little too long. Got the ball swiped away, and it's a turnover. Technically, his second fumble. I'm willing to give him a pass on the first one. Not on that one. Didn't feel the pressure. Didn't step up. Didn't protect the ball. He'll learn from it. Another one of those things that young quarterback, it's going to happen. But bad play right there by Jones results in the turnover. It'll be a first down and great field position for the Bears.
Just another learning opportunity. Instead of stepping up in the pocket there, sort of exposed the ball to the oncoming rush, and a bad thing happened.
So the Bears are set up at the Giants 12. It's Daniel still in the game, and now he's pressured, moves to the right, and now tripped up. Was that the X-Man? It
By the
was.
X-Man. I tell you what,
So the
I'm ex-
rookie
I'm
out of
excited
Old
about that
Dominion
young man.
trips him up for a loss of 5, and he gets a sack there. Nice play by the X-Men. Um, Going back to Jones, you know what? Here's what I would tell him on a play like that. Hey, Danny, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to tuck it. Right? Like
Right,
you didn't have it. You're standing there. If feel the pressure, and then he has his legs. Right? We haven't
right.
seen him scamper um, in this preseason. So maybe something that as they go back and you saw them looking at the pads to look over the film and see what he saw and why the ball didn't come out, and to make those adjustments. And maybe something that'll be said to him by Shula or Shermer or whoever is, hey, Danny, don't forget you have your legs. That if you don't have it there and you feel that pressure, you can step up and move out of the pocket and try to make a play with your legs there. Um, so hopefully, again, you're right, a learning experience, and we'll take it as we go.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, but going back to what you were saying about the instant replay, my biggest fear is unintended consequence. Right. I felt like the uh, I felt like the implementation of the rule was a very clear and obvious, reaction to what happened between the Saints and Rams in the NFC Championship game. But you look at something like, say at the end of a game, right? Say it's a 4-point game. The trailing team has the ball on the 50-yard line. They chuck the ball into the end zone. In those Hail Mary situations at the end of a game, it's basically a free for all. And is there an agreement, between the referees to just sort of swallow the whistle in that scenario? Or are we going to be able to slow that play down to a millisecond speed and call a penalty that you know has an impact, in a playoff race or something of that nature? So I'm not sure pass interference is something that should be reviewed. I think that that's sort of a judgment sort of scenario, right? I think instant replay should be saved more for clear and obvious situations. And kind of like you said, Jimmy, if you uh, if you want to improve the refereeing, train your referees better.
Make the referees better, right? And like I said, I have no problem where, if it wasn't abused, and there was a person that was at the stadium, right, that had direct line of contact with New York, and a play happened that let's go to, as it's 2nd and 15 here. Bears have the ball at the Giants 17-yard line. Daniel taking a shot for the end zone, incomplete. Wanted to try to get to the back corner for his receiver and wasn't really close. And it'll
Nice
fall
coverage
incomplete
by
to bring
Grant
up a
Haley.
3rd down. They're going back to the Daniel Jones play. And really, I mean, bad play by the offensive line there. Jones hung out to dry, but again, a turnover is a turnover. So I think if they had a referee, Justin, that was sitting up in the booth, direct line of contact in New York, and something happened like the New Orleans game, good pressure here by the Giants, and they'll get the sack at the 31-yard line.
And that looks like Pierre.
15-yard loss on the play. Good coverage by the Giants there. Pocket collapsed, and we'll check to see who it was.
It looked like Pierre to me. It was,
and it
number
was
72.
Pierre. Loss of 15, and that's going to set up a long field goal here for the Bears. But I think if let's say that you had somebody who was up there overseeing the game, and that play happened with the Saints.
No good.
And he pushed it to the left. 47-yarder is missed, and the Giants still lead 7-3.
And the
hold their
defense,
4-point lead.
The defense picks up Daniel Jones. We get some pressure. Something that we've been saying for the better part of 2 seasons on the podcast is, where the hell is the pass rush? And we've had some breaths of life here this evening. A nice sack off the edge by Marcus Golden earlier, and 2 sacks on this drive today. Just pushes the Bears back, and they pushed a field goal.
A win's a win's a win, baby.
Yeah.
So here's Daniel Jones. Slings it out to his right. It's complete. Short pickup to Rod Smith.
About
Tackled
3.
immediately after the catch. Gain of around 3. 7 minutes left if you're checking. When they're going to call it a 2nd and 4.
2nd and
But
6.
Justin, would you have a problem with that? If there was a guy overseeing the game and he minded his own fucking business, and then a play like that happened in a moment where the pass interference against the Saints that cost them the game, just so happened to cost them maybe a trip to the Super Bowl or a trip to the Super Bowl. Would you have a problem with them stopping the game because the replay showed something that was so blatantly obvious that was the correct call?
Right. That's the common sense scenario. And you look at that replay scenario that you're outlining. It's very, very, very similar to something that appears in the MLB, right? And I don't know how much these sports leagues copycat off each other, but I would assume a little bit. And that model seems to work in the MLB. I don't know why it couldn't work in the NFL.
And a big completion here as Jones hits his man coming across the middle for a gain of around maybe 6 or so, and he beats his man coming across up the right sideline and picks up around 30 yards on the completion. Giant 1st down and more, and the Giants are driving. Jones hits him in stride, and it was complete all the way down to the 31. Now a handoff to Smith, and he looks like he fumbled the ball, and now a scram for it, and the Giants fall on it back at their own 41. So preseason football is preseason football. Ball hitting the turf a little bit, and it looks like that was Rod Smith who had it poked away, and it will be a 2nd down and long, and it was a legit fumble. Nice play by the defender to get a hand in there and knock it out, and then a good heads-up play by the Giants. Gates, number 65, to dive on it, not giving up on the play, scores some points with his offensive line coach right there. 2nd down and 19 for Daniel Jones. Pushes the Giants from the 31 all the way back to the 40.
I think the takeaway from this game so far is we're gonna need to work on our ball security.
You never want to drop your balls.
Yeah, hold on to your balls
at all times.
Yeah,
the balls could be wet, balls could be slippery. but you want to try
just
to
to
hold
make,
on to your ball.
just check to make sure that you have your balls in your hand.
You can end up with mud on your ball, depending the circumstances. Your ball can get hit a lot. You got to hold on to your ball.
Yeah.
There's going
If
to be
you're
guys swiping at your balls all day long.
a
You got to be
kicker,
able to. You got to be able to protect your balls.
if
So
you're a
3rd and 12 here.
I just want to say, if you're a kicker, don't be afraid to rub your balls down.
You might have to. Sometimes you got to finesse your balls.
Yeah.
Check down to around the 30-yard line. Jones complete to Shepard, not close to a first down. And the Giants will have a long field goal attempt here to try to put themselves up by a touchdown. Right now, they lead by 4, 7-3. 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Clock stopped due to an injury for the Bears.
Yeah.
So far, Justin, knock on wood, as I tap on my forehead, no, nothing to talk about in that area for the Giants so far. Hunky dory. So
Yeah.
first teamers are out right now. So it's we don't know. Maybe somebody got bumped or bruised, but for the most part, it looks like that they're going to walk out of this game pretty healthy with their starters, and that's it's a positive in preseason.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what we're looking for, right?
Yeah, health. One of the things that I've brought up that is depth is a concern to me at certain positions, and I feel like if they're hit at the wrong spot and it's a bad injury, that it could be devastating. So with the
Man,
lack of depth on this roster, it's important for me that they stay healthy for as long as humanly possible.
I'll tell
Up and
you.
up for that to happen through a full 16 game schedule.
I tell you
So
what. I know that
preseason,
that sometimes a preseason field goal is just a preseason field goal, but
you
Aldrick
love your
Rose
boy Rojas.
Aldrick Rosas is a man. I mean,
You love him.
he's. I mean, what is he? 6'5"?
Get a fucking jersey.
He looks like he's 6'5", 220.
You want to break the mold? You
I've
want to
twisted.
fucking be unique? You want to be that guy? Get a fucking Rojas jersey.
I wonder if they're sold, or if you would have to get it custom made.
You can get it custom made, but at that point,
Right.
you're paying $200, and I don't know if you want to pay $200 for a fucking Rojas.
Well, I mean, he's only the best kicker that we've ever had.
Ever. Period.
Period.
End of sentence. Oh, here he is again. There he is, your man crush. There he is. Flex for Justin.
Look at those beautifully tatted arms.
You love him. You fucking love the kicker.
I do love the kicker.
You do love the kicker. Nice return there. Flags fly.
And look at him right there. He's right
look at
there.
Him looking to make a play.
He's ready to
if
light
you don't
somebody
order his
up.
Fucking jersey tomorrow.
Although, can you do that anymore? I think you can, right?
You can still do it. I've had it done.
They didn't eliminate it with the whole Ron Mexico debacle, right?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to check that.
You remember the Ron Mexico debacle, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Ron Mexico was the alias that Michael Vick used to obtain his herpes medication.
The only thing that would have been better is if he called himself Uncle Rico.
Right.
Because that Mexico name is fucking priceless.
Right. Legend.
It's what legend. He's not the hero we need, but he's the hero we deserve. Or vice versa. So here we go. Bears with a quick little dump out to the right. And they get a nice little gain there. Gain of around 6, maybe 7, depending. They call it 6 with the spot.
Julian Love in on the stop.
Uh-oh. Did you see what just scrolled across the bottom? Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rodgers misses preseason start with back tightening. Something to monitor.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. The Packers wished right now that they had Chad Kelly.
Oh, bad snap.
Bad snap.
Into the end zone. Kick.
And he's going to kick it out the back.
Kick it out. It's going to be a safety for the Giants. Snap went over his head. Daniel went back and tried to field it. couldn't come up with it, and then made the smart play of just making sure he secured it and getting it out of the end zone, took the safety. So now we'll get to see Daniel Jones in a little 2-minute action with a chance to put a touchdown or some points on the board before the half.
Yeah.
This is something I want to see.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I think,
The Giants get a little break from the football gads.
these are the types of scenarios that are invaluable for a rookie quarterback. 2 minutes 59 seconds to go. Treat it like a 2-minute drill. Run a drive with some pace. And maybe run some no huddle and see what the kid can do.
Yeah, yeah,
Try to go up at half 19-6.
yeah. It would be nice. I'll tell you the truth. Just to see him move the ball would be
Or nine.
encouraging,
Yeah.
right? And move the ball here. Move your team down and put points on the board. Even if that's a field goal attempt by your man crush, I'm fine with that because this is the first time we've seen him in this scenario. Get him out there and hopefully we can convert some first downs and get up the field here. So
Yeah.
the Giants are going to field, getting ready to field. Free kick here for the Bears. Punted at the 20.
Get away, Simonson.
Fair catch. Simonson says, fair catch. And nice job by Simonson, says Bob
Yeah.
Papa.
Yeah. Good hands.
Nice job, Simonson.
Simonson isn't a muffer.
Simonson stays away from the muff. I don't mind that necessarily.
It's a great.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
Right.
Whether you love the
So
muff
here
or
we go,
not,
Giant fans.
it's all
It's
good.
not necessary. We're not inside 2 minutes, but 2:59 left. Ball's on the Giant 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Giants up 12-3 over the Bears. Jones out of the gun, 3 wide receivers to his right. Takes the snap and now dumps it on a screen pass out to Perkins. Nice little move across to
The
the 40,
percolator!
45-50 to the
The
45-40,
percolator!
and he's knocked out of bounds on a nice little run by for the percolator. It's time for the percolator.
Tell you what, nice little design play here to get the drive up and rolling. Fake action to the strong side, and then slip it to the backside to the percolator, and he makes a guy or two miss, and he's off to the races. First down, Giants.
Nice move there. Caught the ball, made a nice move to get away, create space, and then accelerated up the sideline for a big gain. Perkins has looked good for the opportunities he's received tonight. So this should be the last play before the 2-minute warning. You figure it might be a run here for the Giants. Jones out of the gun. It's not. They put him in the gun. He's going to throw it, and he got a completion down to the 30-yard line, gain of around 9, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. So nice job by the Giants right here. Screen pass for the big play. Then Jones on 1st down completes for a gain of 9, setting up a 2nd down and 1 when we come back with 2 minutes left. Hey, Justin.
Yeah.
Have you heard about our buddy Gary Reasons, 2-time Super Bowl champion? If you remember.
Wait, do you mean my personal Facebook friend, Gary Reasons?
My personal Facebook friend as well, Gary Reasons, right? So
I tell you what, man, that's a mind fuck if there ever was one.
When I think Gary Reasons, tell me about it. Like I have a group text with Mark Collins, Pepper Johnson, and Gary Reasons. Like I go full like erection. Like it's you got to be kidding me. Like what the fuck? Unbelievable, right? So Gary Reasons, who is famous for the fake punt, in the NFC Championship game 1990, and how about the hit in Denver in the snow, right? Goal line going up and above.
Going up at the line and just crushing it.
With the hit. Gary Reasons is working with a company called EZMD. You ever hear of a teledoc, Justin?
I have heard of a teledoc.
Right? You get to see your doctor.
My employer offers a teledoc.
How about that? So tell us what a teledoc is.
So a teledoc, you don't have to go to the doctor physically. You can like Skype or FaceTime with the doctor, tell him about your symptoms and tell him what you're feeling, and he'll look at paperwork and things on his side and write prescriptions for you without having to see you in person.
100%. And at Easy Med Direct Inc., right, is a national agency offering discount health benefits that provide convenience, value, and savings to members and companies at discount medical plan prices, right? Among the founders of this company is former New York Giant linebacker, our boy, two-time Super Bowl champion, double nickels, number 55, Gary Reasons,
Gary.
whose goal was to provide a convenient and affordable benefits that would provide an alternative to individuals and families as they contend with the ever-rising healthcare costs. Easy Med Direct will operate as a direct sales organization as they offer their medical plan to individuals and family throughout the US. For more information about EasyMD Direct, please visit easymd.com.
Perfectly timed read from Jimmy.
And we're back.
2nd and 1 from the 31.
2 minutes left. 2nd and 1 for Danny Jones. I want to see a touchdown pass so I can give you my call.
Yeah.
At the 30, handoff to Perk. Nice run.
A little aggressive.
Hit after maybe a gain of 2 and kept the legs churning and moving and ends up with a gain of 6. So the Giants
he got low and drove the pile.
Moving, and now they have plenty of time, all 3 timeouts inside the 25-yard line at the 23. Jones out of the gun, takes the snap, throws it on a quick slant, pass a little behind him, but caught. And it's down to the 15-yard line, gain of around 8 there. Justin, who's number 2? He's making a couple of nice plays out there.
TJ Jones.
There you go. TJ Jones making plays.
Star of camp, TJ Jones.
From the 15, Jones in the gun, out to the left now, look at end zone.
Touchdown!
Poor Jones got him. He's got him. Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones. He's got some sling going on. And he fires a pass 20 yards to TJ Jones down the left sidelines. Both feet in, tiptoeing. TJ, touchdown Giants.
Mr. Jones and me. It's Mr. Jones to Mr. Jones.
How about that?
I tell you what.
Jones squared as the Giants take the lead, expand it 20-3, Justin.
Somewhere the Counting Crows are excited.
Impressive.
What a nice throw.
Yep.
He threw that to a spot. He threw that to a spot, and TJ Jones got there and made the play.
Beautifully done. Screen, got the drive going. Beautiful play by Perkins. Ran the ball well when they had to. Couple of nice completions, gain of 8, gain of 9, right? Did what they had to do, and then he gets to the 15. He gets to the 15-20, takes a shot, and the ball's complete. Beautiful ball up the left sideline. Anticipation again. Guy had leverage. Let his guy make a play, much like he did on the first drive when he had the ball, and results in a Giant touchdown. Points before the half. Exactly what we asked for with 2:59 on the clock after the safety when the Giants were getting the ball back. So great job, Mr. Jones. Impressive. Couple of turnovers, things to improve on, learn from. Couple of incompletions that you might want to look at or take back. But, hey, what we've seen, impressive, happy, healthy, moving along. Nice job by Danny Jones. And a good return here by the Bears. Breaks it to the 30. He has one man to beat. There's a flag. They're going to bring it back. And the man crush just lets him go. Flags all over.
Yeah, so, disappointing from the man crush. Man up and make a play.
In the regular season, he does.
Yeah, that's true. Factually accurate.
He lays him out.
Although he does look winded there. You know what I want to say about Daniel Jones is, you know, overall, the best part of that drive might be the fact that he responded to adversity, right? He had 2 fumbles, earlier in the half, and, was able to come back and deliver in a 2-minute drill scenario with a nicely timed throw to the corner of the end zone.
And I'll tell you what I like is I hope Rosas didn't pull up or something. Did he pull up lame? There's the block in the back. Pretty obvious. Rosas is fine. There
Yeah,
he
bro.
is. Look at him. There's a close up for you. Fawn over him.
I
So I
mean,
ain't gonna run after his ass if there's a penalty. So
I mean,
102
he's
left for Chase Daniel and the Bears at their own 28-yard line. Out of the gun, out to the right on the quick little screen, gets a block out across the 30, and he's out of bounds at the 32. Gain of around 4. Second and
Al-
6, 56 seconds.
Aldrich Roses. If you're listening, you're an attractive man.
He loves you. He loves you. If you care, Bears have one timeout left. I'll
Eli
tell you,
Van.
Jones with both of those passes up the left sideline on the first drive and then the last throw on the touchdown to Jones. Those were two very nice throws, exactly what you want to see. And you're right. He overcame the adversity, short memory, came out, did what he had to do, put points on the board. And, that's how it's going to be in the NFL on Sunday afternoons. Everything's not going to go your way. You're not always going to come out and you're going to have to, there's going to be fumbles. You're going to get hit. Shit's going to happen. And you got to be able to shake that off, not lose confidence, come back out and continue to throw the ball with conviction. And he did that on that drive. And that's, what a Giant fans is what we want to see in the preseason, and very encouraging for what we have here in a young quarterback. So Chase Daniel now on a 3rd and 2, as we may see Daniel Jones again if the Giant defense can make a play. Quick little pass, they won't. Complete to Ridley, the rookie. And they say forward momentum is stopped. I wasn't sure if he was down, but the ref comes in and blows it dead. Clock continues to tick, 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 as there's 35 seconds left. They're at their own 46-yard line as Daniel has it. He's going to need a chunk here. He gets it to the 50-yard line with a completion to his running back. Clock continues to run. It's down to 24, and it looks like that's where they'll take their timeout. And their final timeout. Actually, I was wrong. It looks like that's their second timeout that they just took. They still have one. So there you go there. My bad.
It's preseason for everybody.
Well, they got the tracker going across the bottom, and it blocked out, I think, the one of them. So
Yeah,
I'll take the hit for that. That's on me.
that's all
I
right.
apologize.
It's all right. Overall, more reason for optimism, right? This team is taking advantage of the opportunities presented to them.
100%. I mean, you got to play the game. You got to play the guys that are out there. You have to go out and do your job. You're still putting stuff on film. It's about you and how you play. So, yeah, completion here from Daniel. Nice chunk of yards down to the 39-yard line. Gain of around 16. Bears will call their last time out with 19 seconds left. Good ball by Daniel here on the comeback route.
First and 10 from the
20 seconds left. No timeout. A sack would be nice now, right?
yeah,
A little sack lunch.
and the half. You know, let the X Man and company. You know, strike fear in the heart of Chase Daniel.
Good pressure by the Giants. Lofted out to the left side, falls incomplete. Overshot his receiver at around the 20-yard line. Was pressured. Good push by
R.J. McIntosh,
McIntosh.
5th-round pick last year. You know, spent last year mostly grown into that man of a body, and expecting more things from him this year.
He beat his man at the snap. Nice quick move. Put some pressure on him. Daniel had to get rid of it early, and it fell incomplete. He overshot his man. From the 38 of the Giants, 2nd and 10. Daniel in the gun, steps up, has time, throws down the field. He has a man complete. to the 10 to the 9. Now tick, 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 tick. 6, 5, 4, 3. Will they get it off on time? Everybody up at the line. 1.
No, that can't
And
be a
Daniel
legal
gets it
formation.
off and stops the clock with 1 second left. Tip your cap, Giant fans. That was nicely done. That's a pretty big completion with that time left. And to be able to hustle and get everybody up to the line of scrimmage at the 9-yard line after a gain of around 20 plus yards is a nice job by the Bears to stop the clock, and they set themselves up for a chip shot field goal right before the half. It'll be a 27-yard field goal by Pinheiro. Paisan. Hey, paisan. Shank it. And he puts it through.
I mean, he's no Aldrich Rosas, but that was a nice catch.
No, he did a nice job. He did his job. So, but he's not as handsome, granted. At the half, Giant fans, we've seen some good, we've seen some bad. Put them both together. Giants lead 19-6 as we go to the half. All right. I'm going to go see. Let's see some of the comments.
What are we checking on?
Let's see what we got going on.
Jimmy, let me ask you this.
Shoot.
Those 2 passes up the left sideline. Are we 100% sure Eli can make those throws?
Oh man, you want to stir? You're looking to poke the hive. No, I mean not consistently.
I don't think he. The deep pass to Latimer, they're replaying it right now on the network if you're watching. But the first one to Latimer, it's 40 yards.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a beautiful ball.
And then, we just haven't seen Eli have that type of timing to be able to throw a ball, on time to a spot like that. Whenever he has to throw a ball to a spot, either, in an end zone sort of scenario or on a timing route, the ball's usually not where it's supposed to be. On the crossing route, it's behind so that the wide receiver has to stop. And, when Jones threw this touchdown pass that they're replaying on the network right now, the wide receiver, TJ Jones, was at the 7-yard line, and he caught the ball 7 yards deep in the end zone. I don't know the last time that I saw Eli Manning do that. Don't shoot the messenger.
I won't.
Hashtag real talk.
Hey, I think he should be playing right away. I know I don't want to shit on Eli. We've done enough of that, right? Like I God love him. Like Eli is the greatest quarterback that the Giants have ever had, as of right. But when you look at the roster, Jones should be the guy from day one. He should be the guy to lead the team from day one, to make his bones, to get through his lumps, and to play from day one. What I see from Jones is I see potential, right? He's slinging the ball around the field. He has good zip on his ball, right? He's for the most part making good decisions. Now, I don't know that during the course of the regular season that he'd be able to do this consistently, but I know that he right now is the guy that we're invested in long term to be able to do it consistently. So I want to see him. I don't. When I look at Eli consistently, the pass that Jones made to Jones coming across the middle where he got up the sideline, he hits him in stride on the numbers. How many times, Justin, have we spoke on the podcast about crossing routes where the ball's behind them or low or high or, and yes, we see occasional good balls from Eli, but for a quarterback making $23 million, we should see more consistently good throws from Eli. And what I saw in the first half, despite the fumbles from Daniel Jones, was the ability. I saw two really nice balls down the left sideline. I saw a nice ball on a crossing route. Last week I see nice accuracy where he wants to, when he knows where he wants to go on these quick little slant routes off out of a shotgun off some play action. So like I see enough from this kid to go, yeah, there may be potential for him to be, I don't know, I'm not going to say a Super Bowl champion, but better than the quarterback Eli Manning is right now. Not better than the quarterback Eli Manning was in 2011 or whatever year you want to go back to. No one is saying that. It's a separate conversation. I think that if you play Jones from day one, Justin, you have a better shot of him being better than Eli Manning by week 8 or 9 with that experience, no matter how good or experienced that first chunk of games is. I think that you could be looking at a better player. And the quicker we get there, the better.
I mean,
I don't know if he's a Super Bowl. I don't know if he can lead this team to Super Bowl champion. But right now, when you look at our roster, I'm looking at who can be the best quarterback for this team. And considering the youth, considering the investment, show me DJ. It's not like
right.
he's out here and he's throwing the ball and it's ricocheting off the other fucking team's hands and they're not catching it and he's hitting other guys. You know what I'm saying? He's not throwing the ball to the wrong team. He's doing his job. He's making some good throws. So if that's the case, let's see more of it. Let's see it when the bullets start really flying.
I mean, 161 yards on 14 pass attempts. I mean, there were times last year in the regular season that Eli had over 20 passes and had less than 125 yards. You know, this is a league that is year after year progressing more and more toward, you know, aerial dominance. And so you have to have a quarterback that can stretch the field a little bit.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with what I've seen so far from him.
Yeah, I have to be honest. You know, draft day was a dark one. I don't think it was what any of us expected. Uh, but to this point, you know, it's a very small sample size.
Very small,
I'm
grain of salt, but
I'm I'm more optimistic than I thought I would be at this point. Is that safe to say?
uh, I mean, yes, okay, yeah, that's safe to say. I have more of a yes. I mean, I can't take anything away from the way he's played. He hasn't played bad football. He's played good enough to put himself in a position to have us Giant fans saying, "Hey, man, we want to see more." Right? Like I don't know, and I don't. I think that we all know that if you put him in, you can't say, "All right, well, it's a done deal." I think that we
Right.
all have to understand that there's going to be a rough patch, but I want to see more of him because he's young, because he provides that hope, that unknown of what he could be. I'm willing to say, okay, I'm willing to sacrifice this season for the betterment of the young quarterback.
Right.
Um, the Giants apparently aren't.
Say you start him right away, right? And let's just say in his first 8 games he goes, let's just say he goes 2-6. All right, in his first 8. But then in his last 8, he goes 6-2. Right? Whenever you start him, there's going to be a bump in the road because aside from Ben Roethlisberger, no quarterback has come in his rookie year. Ben Roethlisberger and Russell Wilson, maybe being the only two in recent memory that have come in and had extreme success from the jump.
And
So
if you remember Roethlisberger, Justin, honestly, that was that running game and that defense that catapulted that
yeah,
team. Like Roethlisberger made plays, but he wasn't the one. He wasn't carrying that team, right?
yeah. Well, Roethlisberger. Remember, the Steelers didn't want to start Roethlisberger. They had former XFL MVP Tommy Maddox, and he broke his thumb opening day, and they were forced to go to Roethlisberger, and they went 15-1 and made a run to the Super Bowl.
So somebody just asked me. So they were thinking the same thing you were, buddy.
What's that?
The guys in my fantasy league texted, sent a text asking if I was keeping Josh Gordon.
Yeah, I mean the weed connection. I mean, it's obvious and strong.
Flash. Well, my connection to Josh Gordon goes back to him winning me a fantasy championship that year where he went on a fucking tear.
Right. Remember that year?
That was the year I drafted him in like round 13.
Oh
He was
God.
suspended for like the first two games, and I loved him. I thought he had great potential, and then he came out and did that with like Jason Campbell as his fucking quarterback.
Oh,
And
Jason Campbell.
right, I
I
mean, some
love
of the
that guy.
quarterbacks that guy played with when he was first coming out, like he was his own worst enemy. But he for the talent he had, the numbers he put up, those quarterbacks were god awful. And he was just a freak that season, Justin. That was one of the greatest seasons I've seen a wide receiver play. And you go back and you look at those numbers that he put up, and then realize that he was suspended for two games.
Yeah.
Man,
No, that's
that's
right.
insane. And then go look at the roster that he did it with, right? Like, I mean, you're like, oh my God, look at these numbers. And then you're like, well, he missed two games. Like, oh, wow, shit. Well, and then you're like, oh, well, Jason Campbell was this quarterback. Like, what? Right? Like, there's always something else because it was Cleveland. So, uh, you know, I don't know that he can get back to that form, though, that he was at. I would love to see it, but I don't know that he can do so.
Well, as long as he has the greatest living American at quarterback, uh, anything is possible.
Well, that's Tommy Handsome.
Yeah. What about? I mean, we have some time here at halftime. Tommy Brady going into his age 42 season. What do we think?
Um, God love him. I just pulled a muscle just thinking about it. I mean, 42 years old, Tommy. Uh,
I mean, let
I
me
mean,
ask you.
what can you
Let,
say about Tom
let
Brady?
me
I
ask
mean,
you.
he's unfucking believable. He's just
Let me ask you.
Tommy football.
How old are you?
I don't want to. I don't want to answer that.
Are you older? Let me. So, uh, an easier question for you to answer. Are you older or younger than Tom Brady?
Why the fuck would that be an easier question for me to answer?
Because my follow up question is like, athletic ability aside, can you imagine at your age doing what Brady is doing right now? Even playing like preseason
Yeah,
football,
yeah, I
doing
could fucking
something.
imagine it. Yeah, I could imagine it. I imagine it fucking all the time. Yeah, I'd love to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
Um, at 42 years old, when I think about, well, here's what I think that anybody would say at my age or close to my age or late 30s, right? Let's whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Here we go.
and we're off for the second half. We'll check who the quarterback is. The Bears are going to get the ball first. Um, I would say that knowing how your body just feels after certain things that you can do when you were younger that you can do all day long, right? Like now you do them for a couple of minutes and the next day you feel it if you're not in shape and doing it consistently, right? So I think that at 42, what he's doing, I think that what it tells me at a very similar age as the person doing it is the amount of work that he must put into taking care of his body year round to be able to endure what he does, considering what happens as you get older. Um, Absolutely amazing. And you gotta tip your cap to a guy like that, right? I mean, you have to
Yeah.
say, if he's willing to put in what it takes, which you would imagine, Justin, is just a ridiculous amount of effort and discipline to be able to train at that level to keep your body in shape to endure the punishment that he does for 16 games for 5 months at his age. How can you say a negative word about it,
Yeah. Absolutely.
right?
I just know when we went to LT's birthday party, we
Long pass overthrew him. He had him on the right sideline, and Bears quarterback overshot him. We'll check and see who the guy. I feel like I'm in a major league when they're like, "Who the fuck are these guys?"
yeah, factually accurate. Uh
Thank
when we went to LT's birthday party, we stayed up all night. We were up 30 consecutive hours.
you. Oh,
And
don't remind me.
by the end of that, I would say by about hour 22, I was my body was clearly telling me like tomorrow I'm going to scream at you and you're going to have to take it.
Overshot again as he took another shot down the right sideline, incomplete. That was on a 3rd and 10. They'll have to punt. We'll check and see who the Giants are going to have in there. It's bad enough being up that right. We being up that long. We really didn't, um, car to party to. So there wasn't really a lot of what was unexpected and what really took a lot out of, I think, the both of us was the getting lost in Atlanta for a good hour and a half trying to find our car when we were fucking turned around in the NFL event and they made us go out the other way. They wouldn't let
The
us go out the
wrong
way we
way.
came. We had to go out the other way, and we ended up us in the middle of nowhere, and we had to walk around the entire stadium in order to try to find our car. And that basically put us in a rush to get to the party itself. And it just that was exhausting. And then the amount of time on top of it just tougher. Fielded by the Giants, the punt is at the 29, gets to the left, took it all the way on the right sideline, brings it all the way out to the left sideline, and is out of bounds at around the 43-yard line.
You know,
44 maybe.
talking about that gallivant around Atlanta. If you remember, so first of all, we made friends with that lovely couple that basically assisted us in crossing over the freeway so that we could get to our car. Uh, the gentleman was wearing a football themed blazer. I think it was Patriots. And the woman stepped out in front of the freeway and allowed us to cross so that we could get to our car. But there was about a 2 minute period there where I thought we were going to lose our rental car, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but we made it.
I look back on that and I laugh. Um, how we were fucking totally lost, man. We didn't know
Yeah,
we were in the middle of
1000%.
Atlanta. We were in some choice neighborhoods. We
My
were
ce-
just
my
we were
cell
out
phone
there
had less
trekking.
than 10% battery, and I was
My
in a
cell phone blows.
in
We
in another
actually had the
state.
fucking. We actually had the. We were in the NFL event, the NFL experience, um, and we had to find the charging station to try to
Right?
charge our phones. Remember?
Where they let you put that? Remember that you put that code in there? That was like a
Yes,
temporary lock.
yes. We had
Yeah.
to put the code in with the temporary lock, and the
Someone who
NFL
tried to take
experience
my
was a
phone.
phenomenal. That was a great.
Yeah.
That was a great time. I wish we had more time. I would have liked to actually try to do some of the stuff.
Yeah. Um, the other thing, so we say all that, right? About how tough it was for us to stay up all night. It was probably what? 11:45, and Jimmy and I were sort of looking at each other, and we knew we had to drive back to the airport. And full disclosure, we didn't get a hotel that evening. We our plan was just to stay up all night at the hotel or at the airport. Get a meal at the IHOP there in the Atlanta airport, and stay up all night. But so 11:45, I look at Jimmy and I said, if you're tired, you have to drive back. We can go. So we get ready to leave, and we come out the front entrance, and coming down the stairs, cane and all, is Jim Brown at 11:45 at night. And I remember we looked at each other. We said, "Well, if Jim Brown's just getting started, we need to man up." Jesus Christ, Jim Brown, an American legend, 11:45 at night, arriving to the LT birthday
Just
party.
getting started. Just getting started. And the best part of that is we're standing there, we're talking to Brandon Jacobs. Um, and that's like a dream in itself. And
Right.
then you turn around and here comes Jim Brown. And did you see like Brandon Jacobs' face looking at like at Jim Brown? Like it was fucking awesome, man. It was like
It
one of
was
those.
spectacular
Yeah.
because if you've
By
ever,
the way, how about this for a little? This is funny, right? So I just
yeah.
jumped onto the Facebook to try to look at some comments, and the first thing I see is a post by our friend Gary Reasons, and guess who Gary Reasons found at the Giants game tonight? Mark Collins.
Oh, that's great. That
So
I mean
that
that
is
that makes me happy.
that actually makes me happy.
Yeah.
What a great day it's been.
You know, talking about Brandon Jacobs and Jim Brown and all those things. If you've ever been next to Brandon Jacobs, I mean, Brandon Jacobs is a man that will make you feel like a small child, even as an
Oh,
adult, because he's about 6'6", 260, and he's just lean and svelte as well. So like this is a man, and like to see his face when he looked up to Jim Brown, you know, theoretically, you know, it was like a kid looking at a hero.
it really was.
And when you see those guys and you realize that they have the same reaction with those old time legends that we do with them, it makes you realize just how special those legends are.
Oh, 110%. And you want to talk about Brandon Jacobs? I'm 6'2.5", 220 something, right? How small am I compared to Brandon
Yeah.
Jacobs?
He- Jimmy looks like a prepubescent teenager.
I look at that picture of that we took with me and Jacobs, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, he is a fucking mountain. Like,
Right.
can you imagine that guy coming at you running a 4.40, full pads, like angry?
We're doing the show.
Oh,
Just just amazing. So, good times.
yeah, that was a phenomenal
It was a
experience.
great day in
We
Atlanta.
were. How about this? We were invited to the LT's 60th birthday party um, by Tanisha Taylor Jones, LT's daughter, who has put together the Lawrence Taylor Family Foundation. The LT family and the Taylor family is committed to helping others one act of love at a time. We understand the importance of family and supporting our community and giving back. And they have started the Lawrence Taylor Family Foundation operating out of Atlanta. And I got news for you, Justin. I don't know if you've been to that site, but they have an LT 60th edition, 60th birthday limited edition sweatshirt. It says Forever 66. Um, if you're listening, Giant fans, check it out. It's hot. And their mission at the Lawrence Taylor Family Foundation, they focus on inspiring people and supporting causes that are life changing. Throughout their journey of life, everybody needs somebody. They will maximize their resources to affect change and ensure that our blessings and benefits are given throughout the community. So check out LawrenceTaylorFamilyFoundation.com and support. Get yourself an LT 60th birthday limited edition sweatshirt today. And we're back.
What a how we touched on it a little bit before. We really, you know, for two guys in central Pennsylvania who undoubtedly grew up Giants fans and watched these legends do the things that they did every Sunday in the 80s and 90s. You know, Jimmy and I met working a banking job at a local
Establishment.
bank in central Pennsylvania, right? We knew immediately that well, I knew immediately that Jimmy was a Paisan. And then and then to figure out that he was a Giants fan and then to to connect with Marco and have this opportunity to do what we do. I mean, we love coming to you guys and we love doing this and thank you for spending your Friday night with us.
Yeah, 100%. It's a dream to be able to interact with those old guys. Old time legends, guys that we watched growing up, guys that provided us so many memories, and to be able to interact with them and support them as they came on and supported us by giving us a couple of some of them up to over an hour of their time. Myron Guyton, who started with us when we first started getting the podcast, was a regular guest on the show and really connected us with some of these other guys. So all of them, we anything that we can do to mention them and lead people to the things that they're supporting and they believe in now is something that I never thought we'd get a chance to do, and the fact that we're doing it is a great feeling. So we're happy to be able to do this throughout the course of the whole year and bring you guys the games, and we're grateful that you're hanging out with us and listening if you can't watch, and we give you an opportunity to hear the game a different way. As Nate Stuper almost had himself an interception there and had the ball glance off his hand as he read the route the right way, was in the right place, and just couldn't make the final play, but does force a fourth down. And the Giants get the ball back up 19-6, 11 minutes left. It was a 4th and 4 coming up as they get set to punt.
Just to put a pin in that, the thought with the legends and having them come on with us and being connected with them. My favorite, still, my favorite podcast that we've ever done was the podcast that we had Pepper Johnson on, and the four of us, we hardly did any talking.
Oh,
It was just Pepper talking for an hour and 20 minutes about just unbelievable stories.
and I will say this about those guys: is the Giants field the punt, couple of nice moves there, out to the 20, out to the 25, and out to the 27 is where it'll be stopped and dragged down out of bounds. Nice return there by the Giants, set them up nicely just inside the 30. Um, I expected when we set up those interviews um, that we would have those guys on with us for 15 to 20 minutes, maybe, right? Each one of those guys spent at least an hour with us, some up to the whole show, and were open and candid and honest and gave us stories and insight that we were never aware of. I mean, Mark Collins was on the show and let us know that 4 or 5 plays before the Flipper Anderson play, he actually fractured his ankle. He was playing on one leg. Never knew that, right? And for him to be able to bring us that insight, and to be able to ask those questions and speak to these guys about some of the most memorable moments in Giants history, especially for guys our age from our era, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Never would have thought it would happen.
We We're very fortunate, that's for sure. And you know, now we have the new age superstar Daniel Jones, who, if you're just joining us, uh, had an up and down night, but ultimately finished strong after two early fumbles, and finished his quarter and a half of play 11 of 161 yards and a touchdown. Touchdown was to T.J. Jones down the left hand side, perfectly timed route, and the Giants are beating the Bears 19-6.
Preseason football, Justin.
It's
Gotta
it's
love
the
it.
it's the second best time of year, only bettered by actual football. So, Jimmy, I know you're a fantasy guy.
You know me.
Want to tell you a little bit about the the fantasy league that I'm starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. when we're doing our slow draft. So the draft that occurs tomorrow is our practice squad draft. This is a league that I have with 10 buddies of mine, and we are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
We're gonna have full rosters, including a 6-man practice squad comprised of uh, college football players that can stay on our roster until they're promoted to the active roster once they're drafted to the. And
Interesting.
tomorrow is the practice squad draft, and I have the sixth pick, and it's actually not 10 teams; it's 12 teams. So I have the sixth out of 12, and I don't know.
Jesus. No, I don't know. I wouldn't even be able to tell you where to go. I haven't paid it. I don't know who the fuck.
I
That's
mean,
ridiculous.
I don't know who. I would, right, Tim? I don't know who.
now, now, now Tim's on, and Tim's a college football guy. Tim, who do I pick?
Seriously. I like college football and all, but I mean, we just pick
Panning down the left
quarterbacks.
sideline, and it's incomplete.
I mean, you
Second
pick
down.
quarterbacks. I mean, it's about there's some skill positions here and there, but it's just luck of the draw.
Right.
So sorry guys for being
Uh,
late. I just want to. I had to catch up. I had DVR on. I had to catch up on the first half.
so Tim, tell us about your thoughts about the first half.
One, I really got to say, uh, I'll start out right from the beginning. Eli looked like somebody could put a fire out under his ass finally, and he actually wanted to actually was like, oh crap, I have competition.
Funny how that works, huh?
Yeah, it was, oh, I actually got to work to keep this job. And all of a sudden, the first throw, he throws a rifle 20 yards down the field. I'm like, okay, oh, Eli, let me see what you got. And he did what he did, and then Daniel Jones. I love the accuracy on this kid. Granted, I'm not a fan of the fumbles.
Right.
It's, fumbling the snap really pisses me off. The other fumble, that's gonna happen, but he still needs to have his head on a swivel. Uh,
I
as
had
far
I
as
had the first fumble. I mean, it looked like the offensive line hung him out. You'd like him to feel that, maybe step up, use his legs. I'm sorry, the second fumble.
Yeah,
That is the first fumble, Tim. I honestly think that it was maybe him being a little jacked up and uh, quote unquote pulling out a little too early and losing the
yeah,
ball. after a really nice throw down the left sideline. So all in all, I mean, I'm the fumbles are something that he can learn from. But the way he threw the ball, the quick slants, off play action, the crossing route, the balls on the left sideline, the deeper balls, nothing not to like about what Jones's
But,
performance.
and that's exactly what I was going with it. With as far as fumbles, I'm not happy with them. But just like you said, it's something to learn from, and I want to see what happens when he gets a little adversity anyway on him.
And Justin
And
mentioned that earlier.
I like the way he took it.
Yeah,
he showed a little emotion, but nothing like he's out of control. He just looks pissed off at
no,
himself.
yeah, he looked
That's what I want to
frustrated
see.
as anybody would be. And then Justin mentioned it. After the touchdown pass, he said, what's nice about that is he had the two fumbles, and a
Yep.
nice play by Tanny stepping up and runs a little bit, gets down, it'll be a first down in the Bears territory, for the Giants. 7.5 left in the third, but um, the way he overcame that adversity to make the plays on the touchdown drive was encouraging. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, and he looked excited on like the 2 minute drill and looked ready. And that touchdown he threw at the end of the half was a dime. I mean, it was a perfect throw, and I couldn't be happier about it. Now, as far as you know, I'm trying to root for Rod Smith because honestly, I hope Rod Smith can have convince Jalen Smith to come to the Giants when it's time. But I don't like the fumbles. Percolator had a good run. Um, yeah. Other than that, I would say what defense. Are you guys there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here, buddy. I'm listening to
All
you.
right, it went silent for a second. It was all shit. I
No, I
thought
was
it
listening to
lost
you.
people. Okay, now as far as the defense, I gotta say, I don't know if you guys noticed, he wasn't making like tons of plays, but he was always around the ball. BJ Hill looks fast. He looks faster than last year, and he was always around the ball, and he's a defensive end.
I
Like he's
I,
in the
I have
backfield.
I'm a little I was a little concerned about the D because they played uh, uh shot into the end zone to the tight end here from Tanny, and it falls incomplete. There's a flag, might be pass interference. We'll check it. Um, they
Tim.
didn't play against the Bears starters, and I thought that, well, at least on the initial drive, that they moved the ball down the field there. But I mean, I saw some good things. I saw Carter made a couple of plays, but this defense, I see the pieces. I know what they have. I can't wait for the regular season to see the scheming and how these guys have evolved.
Well, and that's where I'm at. I'm excited about this defense because you could definitely tell the difference in speed from last year to this year. There's a whole lot more speed on that. There's a couple of plays that could have got pulled down in the backfield, especially in the first half, by like Conley. Conley's going to be the starter. I'm going to put that out there right now. That kid's making plays. He missed a couple tackles in the back, but he was there. He was there to make them. If who was it? I think Lorenzo Carter. If Lorenzo Carter sealed the edge on the one play, I forgot whatever it was. Conley was in the backfield, but I like the way Conley's playing. Lorenzo, like you said, Lorenzo Carter made some good pass rush moves. Hopefully he reaches his potential of what he can be. And you know what? I mean, Marcus Golden made a sack, made a little appearance. That's what
Yeah, it
we
was nice
need.
to see him.
Yeah, I mean, and he's a former second round pick, which means he has talent.
Well, he had when the last time he played in Betch's system, what did he have? 12,
He like
12 sacks, 12 and a half
12 or
sacks or
16.
something like
I
that.
think he almost did 12 and a half or 16 sacks, something like that.
So, well, it's a big
Somewhere
difference
between
there.
there.
The 12 and a half or 16. I thought he had, so I'm going to go with, I'm pretty confident. I think he had around 12, 12 and a half at the most.
Well,
And
whatever. I'm fine.
But
Tanny
still,
throws a ridiculous on play action. and it gets picked off at the 1 and returns 60 yards.
I missed it. I came in the kitchen to check on my Stromboli.
Alex fucking Tank.
Hey, well, what Tim, here's another thing we said earlier, right?
Yeah.
Was
we thought that maybe it would have been smarter for the Giants to do
is to potentially stick with Jones into the third quarter and then go to Loletta. Why are we watching Tanny play?
Yeah.
I'm with you with that. As far as, you know what, let's see what we have in Loletta. Worst comes to worst, he stays. He either gets cut, which we don't want. We put a third, fourth round pick on him. Let's cut Tanny and keep Loletta if we're going 3 quarterbacks. If he can outplay him. So I'm with you. I'm totally with you guys on that.
Yeah, I don't see a need to see Tanny, but still in. Hopefully now they go to Loletta.
Oh, and I also want to put out there, again, my boy T.J. Jones is making plays. I'm liking all these big receivers the Giants are throwing out there, and it's guys that know they have to make plays, or they're not going to see the field. Benny Fowler, he just keeps catching the ball, making plays ever since really the end of last season.
Well, he made a nice play on the slant there. He took a little shot and then was able to stay on his feet, and that was a nice little play on the touchdown from Eli.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys want to talk about big players, I mean, I'm just gonna draw our attention back to the best kicker in the league today, Aldrich Rosas. Tim, do you love Aldrich Rosas as much as I do?
Nobody loves Aldrich Rosas as much as you do.
Love that guy.
I love if we could go bring back the tape of what we thought about him in the beginning of the last year.
Well, remember, because that was that's right.
Last preseason, we were like, listen, dude, we're not paying this much for autographs, and we couldn't believe that they weren't bringing in competition against them. But
yeah, I
love that the kickers solidified. I thought our punter position was solidified too, but they want to keep bringing in punters.
Well, they brought one in and then they let one go, and what? I don't understand what's going on there.
A lot of movement at the punting position.
And shouldn't they be set? Like I don't like why.
I'm fine with competition. They should be.
Well, they had competition. Was that guy that bad? Like I wasn't really paying attention to punting.
I mean, essentially, what a punter does a day and kickers do a day, they literally kick 100 balls a day, and their practice is done. I remember I had a friend who was friends with Brad DeLuiso, and that's literally all you did: kick 100 balls and then go golfing. And I'm just trying to figure out, what did you do in practice to get you cut in the middle of the week? How bad were you? Did you punt a ball and hit a coach?
That's what I'm saying.
Shit.
I mean, like it came out of nowhere.
All of a sudden, Pat Shermer's trying to call some plays, and he gets pelted in the back of the head with a ball. He got punted. I called 4.
How many people you think are at the stadium tonight?
2, 3.
You think 12,000 are there?
I would say I would take the over if you gave me 12.
You're taking the over on 12.
Yeah. I was thinking more like 30, 40.
You think 30,000 people are at the preseason game?
It's a Friday night. It's football. It's the Giants. It's a cheap ticket.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know that they. I mean, I don't know necessarily that they sold it out, but if there's 77,000 that fit in there, I'm thinking that I think maybe they probably got around probably 60 something.
Yeah.
Not bad preseason game. I was just looking up at the stands. I mean, it doesn't look like there's an empty seat in the house.
So are you guys, who excited you guys like first half? Since I wasn't listening.
Besides Aldrich Rosas?
Besides all the grosses.
You know, uh, I was I was pleased overall. You know, with the presence of the pass rush. Right, you had Marcus Golden made a play off the edge. You had
Yep.
the X-Man get his first sack, and you had uh, Pierre, the free agent signing from uh, Arizona,
Cardinals.
make a
Yeah.
nice play up the middle. You had Dexter Lawrence getting some pressure, collapsed in the pocket, in the middle, and then you had Carter, who made some plays off the edge. He had a 6-spin move the second drive, that
Yep.
got some pressure, and he made a play on that initial drive. If he doesn't have his hand up near the quarterback's head, the Giants get off the field much earlier in that drive. So, you know, pass rush is starting to come together. I think, aside from the obvious things that we would be excited about, Aldrich Roses and Daniel Jones, I think the pass rush would have to be it for me.
I think we saw some guys flash, right? We saw Lorenzo flash. Um, we saw DJ a little. I think that you saw that. God forbid something happened to Barkley, there may be the potential for a decent 1-2 punch with Smith and Perkins, right? Like I see some things that I like. Jones was probably those two passes down the left sideline were probably the best thing I saw all night. Um, so encouraging, steps in the right direction, and most importantly, they walk out of here with it doesn't look like anyone
Relatively
of the
healthy.
starters and the first teamers or or any
Yeah.
important really depth guys for the second team or so right now are hurt. So, take that, knock on wood, with a grain of salt, count your blessings, walk away from here, and we'll see what happens.
You know what I feel better about too, and for whatever reason, usually the week 3 game, the third game is what, the Jets. It always was. For whatever reason, this year was not the case, and it seems like we get injured more against the Jets when that game happens. And we got out of that game clean in the first one. And who are we playing in the third game anyway? Are we playing
Bengals.
Patriots or Bengals?
Bengals.
Okay. Oh, we'll see.
Who may be
Like you
without
said,
Joe Mixon because he may be arrested for what he did to Josh Norman yesterday. Did you see that?
no, I did not. What happened?
Oh, Joe Mixon with a little stutter step bounce to the outside and stiff on from hell on Josh Norman.
Oh, now you gotta look it up after.
Oh
We get
yeah,
off this,
you want to see this. You want to see it. Trust me, you want to see it.
And you
With
know what? I do
authority.
want to make a comment out there too. After just seeing some stuff, I see that Odell is pretty much out of preseason and might make week 1 with a hip injury. And
Yep.
at
I would
this
love it.
point, and I was an Odell guy until all these comments about the Giants after. It's like, just get over it. You got what you wanted. You're out.
Right. I'm sick of Odell.
But the funny thing is, I don't want anyone to pump James up, but I'm going to at this point.
I love when you guys talk about Odell.
You know what? Just watching the team tonight and watching the sidelines, it is addition by subtraction,
Wow, who
as
said
James
that?
would say. It it just seems like all these guys are, especially receiver core, way less talented. But it also seems like you don't know who we're gonna throw to because it's just whoever gets open, and they're all working together. And like the whole team looks like that way. Even the defensive side of the ball looks like they're all looks like one. We have a way better rotation of pass rushers and just rotational people. Period. But it also looks like they're all working together. It looks like we have a team that actually likes each other. And really, who's the only really big holdover is like Janoris Jenkins, and you've heard nothing from him.
The team just, it's filled with guys that don't prove themselves and need to go out.
Well, after the Rod Smith fumble, I really think we could bring Jonathan Stewart back. But
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, he's the one.
just for another leader in the locker room.
Check the. I need some Jonathan Stewart.
Okay, but that brings me to a question for you guys. As far as running backs wise, you see what we got. It's pretty much that you're gonna try. It's obviously Saquon one. Gallman's probably solidified number 2.
No,
You don't think so?
I've
Out
seen.
of the,
I've
I
seen.
think Gallman's way better than the other 2.
I've seen more. I've seen Rod Smith and Paul Perkins flash more in this preseason than Goldman has in the
I think
entire
they've got
time.
more opportunities.
Well, I don't think Gallman's anything like I don't think Gallman's anything special. I don't think Smith is anything special. I don't think Perkins is anything special. But like if you I mean from what I saw tonight, like they at least played decently to say okay. Well, now they played against a second team defense, so I'm not going to go crazy about it. But like I mean I don't know where is Gallman? Like why isn't he playing?
He's hurt.
Oh, well, okay.
Uh,
So who knows what the hell's going to happen with him? What's his injury?
I don't think it's anything big. I think he got held out.
All right, so they're just holding him out. Okay, so then these guys are playing for the third spot. Then I would think that Perkins would have more of a shot. I think he gives you more versatility than they don't carry
See, the thing is, I think Rod
4 running
Smith.
backs, do they?
I think Rod Smith helps if you're going to keep a fullback because Rod Smith can play fullback.
Does Rod Smith does either one bring you any special teams value?
I think Rod Smith's on special teams. I don't know if Percolator is.
Okay, I'm just
I'm
trying
not
to see
positive
who.
on either. I'm not positive on that either way. But I'm all. But Paul Perkins has a cool nickname. So I don't know if
Oh, he does.
we're the only ones that call him the Percolator.
I don't know how, but nice ball, good catch down the right sideline for the Giants. Nice job. All right, whoa! What the fuck is going on? Pickup of around 37 on the throw. Nice ball by, is that Tanny still? Fuck. Yeah, it is. Throw to
They
Tanny
love Tanny.
They love him.
I really don't think Lalletta's making this team. He might get traded.
They love him.
If
If you're going to trade Lalletta, you think you may want to have fucking somebody see him?
well, that's if who knows? You're just going on potential. A lot of teams had a high draft grade on him last year. But you know who's looked like garbage? At least from what I've seen, Josh Rosen has looked like garbage. And I was the Rosen guy.
He's what, 10 for 18 tonight for 100 yards.
Well, it's also Miami. He's getting destroyed, but he did not look good.
I didn't see any of him tonight. I haven't seen a throw, so I don't know. Last week he didn't look. I thought last week he didn't look bad considering he was fucking getting destroyed.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know what? I got to, again, give my props and say I'm sorry to Josh Allen. 'Cause I like the way Josh Allen plays. And he doesn't have anything to throw to in Buffalo, but it's
Oh,
just
they
like
do
some
now.
garbage.
They got some. They got a nice little group of
Did you
receivers
see
there.
in this
Yeah, I'm
ad?
not a Cole Beasley guy. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Not Beasley. I think Zay Jones could be pretty good. I think Foster's a weapon. I think when you mix those guys together, he gives them enough weapons where they can be dangerous. They got a nice little group of running backs.
The old folks' homes running backs.
Hey man, look at the guys they have back there. They've produced
Oh,
when playing.
well, they piss me off because you can't take any of them in fantasy.
No, zero, none,
You
zero.
take McCoy like late, but with Franco there, they're split. He's gonna split time, and then
Well, yeah, I think, and they
and
got the
what's his
rookie
name?
too.
Yeah, they got Singletary, right?
Yeah,
And Singletary they said is getting a lot of reps too. So
but Singletary's getting a lot of work on the ones because they got a lot of old men right now,
yeah,
and they're monitoring their snaps, and that's good for Singletary. But that's just more chefs in the kitchen in
yep,
that backfield. But I mean, for what they have, I mean, you want as many chefs. You have an older backfield, right? So you figure if guys get banged up, you have guys there. There's a plethora of guys that you can trust. When it comes down to it, it's going to be like any progress that these teams are going to make. These teams with these young quarterbacks, it's going to be on the quarterbacks. If the quarterbacks are playing well, these teams will play well. If the quarterbacks are not playing well, the teams won't play well. The running backs
yep.
won't matter.
And so that's what I'm gonna bring up. The one guy I was Eli pump Eli pumped me up tonight. I, because I know he's gonna start. I know he's gonna start the season, whether we like it or not. And I like that he had a little fire under him.
Yeah, but
So,
I'm gonna I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Jimmy, and I'm not trying to be material here, but I just want to know what you think. The two throws that Daniel Jones made, are those throws that Eli Manning in his current form?
to be honest with you,
Touchdown Giants.
nice.
Hillman with the run up the gut. Man, it looks like the Giants will get their well, they're up 20, maybe extra point. Maybe they go for two here as they're up 12. We'll see.
No, you gotta get
We got to get Rojas out for preseason.
Yeah, there's
Fuck
no
that.
reason to waste. Don't waste
Go
him.
for two.
We don't want him hurt.
And it looks like they are going to go for two. So go ahead. What were you saying?
So as far as the throws, I'm I knew Daniel Jones was accurate, but he's impressing me where he's placing the ball. Um, but the one thing that Eli showed me, and I don't know if he could do it for a full game, but in that series it looked like he was ready to play, and he put some zip on the ball, which I haven't seen in a while. I know he's capable, or used to be really capable of doing it, but he had some zip on the ball. That's all. That's what I want to see. 'Cause I know Eli. We all know Eli's starting, whether he should be or not. Eli's starting week one,
Yeah, 100%.
and you know what? And let Daniel Jones learn. Daniel Jones still has a lot to learn, and I really think it'd be overwhelming for him to go, play that Dallas game week one.
I totally disagree. I disagree. I think that yeah, they're going to play Eli week one, but it's the wrong move to make. I don't see any reason why Jones shouldn't be starting week one. None. And looking at the schedule, man, like if they don't go to him, if they don't go to him after the Patriot game,
When's their bye week?
Not till week 11.
It's good. It's good. Honestly, that's when it's going to happen. Week 11. We're either in or out at that point.
Schedule. Look at the schedule coming out of their bye, though.
Well, at that point, by week 11, we're going to know how good a team we are, and go right out of the bye. Let's see what we got. And you already know, Giants fans, especially if Daniel Jones keeps playing like this all preseason, they're going to be clamoring for him. It's not going to be like last time. No one was clamoring for Geno Smith to play. People will be clamoring for Daniel.
But it wasn't.
People want Daniel Jones to play.
Well, here's the thing: people are stupid, and it should be the franchise that is smarter than everybody.
Jimmy,
hopefully, in this case,
I love
they
that.
were.
People are stupid.
People are stupid because and I'm still arguing with people about the Geno Jones thing, and they still don't get it. They still don't get it. It was never about that. The beautiful thing is how they tell you that you can't skip a quarterback now, but they wanted to skip one then. Like it's unbelievable.
But Davis Webb, the web slinger, was not probably the future.
No, we knew that, but neither was we didn't know what he was. Right. The thing is that you had a young quarterback that you just drafted in the 4th round on your roster, and your team was awful. You were 1-11, and there was a draft coming up where you had 5 potential quarterbacks that were going to be first rounders. So, like, the writing was on the wall to look at the kid, and Mara made the move, and you couldn't go from point A to point C. You had to go to B first, and they were never allowed to do that because the fans overreacted.
How bad would you have snapped? Now, this is just hypothetical, and this is back then. Yeah, I think this is not with the information we know now. If Josh Allen was picking 2,
I would have probably been just as. It would have been very similar to the Jones pick. But I don't. I'd rather be wrong, man. Like, I'd rather be wrong and them get it fucking right. Like,
let's put it this way.
I don't have any pride when it comes to
granted,
this
this
shit.
This is preseason, and we understand that. Okay, let's preface to that. How do you feel about Jones right now?
I'm feeling encouraged. I want to see more of him. I want to see. I've seen enough to want to see more. I've seen enough to say, okay, like I'd rather watch him. I'd be more fired up for a Giants game with him playing than with Eli playing.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at with it. With Daniel Jones, is I'm excited as well. It's like I want to see some more from him as much as possible. I wanted to see.
You know what it's like. You know what it's like. It's like
What?
It's like when you're a single guy, right? And you got a new prospect, right? That excitement, right? You might have a girl, like when we were in our 20s, we had girls that they were the go-to, right? On again, off again, right? But then you get a new prospect, right? And it's a new opportunity with a new relationship. That's the way that I feel about Daniel Jones. I know what I have in Eli. I know that he's trusty, but Daniel Jones, there's a level of it. 2 weeks in a row, it moved to the left.
Hey, how you doing? Daughter just came home from work, guys.
Jimmy's daughter, hello.
Working hard for the money.
No, I understand what you're saying, Justin. You don't know what D. Jones is going to be into.
Right.
Or is D. Jones going to teach you something different?
Maybe he's into some kinky shit.
Yeah. Shit.
So they haven't
I know
tried
Eli would
before.
never. Eli would have never done that for me.
Daniel Jones is the
Daniel Jones right now is just a side piece. He just
yeah.
he's he's a side piece that might that's trying to get the starting job. Eli's old lady. We had some good years, but it might be time to go.
Do you
You
think
think?
after do you think after 2 preseason weeks that he might see the writing on the wall a little bit?
I think that he had to see it when he was taken at 6.
Well, I think you saw it when he was saying 6, but I definitely think he had a little awakening last week,
I think Eli knows that he needs to play well immediately. I
and
think that
that's what I
he
saw tonight. And that's what I saw
like
tonight.
that's
Eli actually taking
like
preseason seriously.
Eli needs to just like maybe just stop giving a fuck. Like Eli, like if he's gonna pull this off, then like he can't like the check downs when he has guys open downfield. Like he needs in the NFL today, you need to be getting these chunk plays. You need to be hitting for 15 yards, 25 yards, 30 yards. It's not going to happen all the time, but you need to be able to put your players in position to make those plays and pick up chunk plays and move the ball quickly down the field. If he's going to dunk, dunk,
James, I
dunk,
think
dunk,
you.
dunk, you're not good.
Yep,
You're done.
you picked up on something. I think exactly what with your point. I think Eli's saying she should say screw it. This is my last go around. I don't want to have a regret and say, hey, I could have thrown that 40-yard bomb, or you have a check down. He's like, screw it. I'm going to get benched eventually. Anyway, let's just go for it. Let's go back to old Eli who just took risks. It's not playing, for the past few years, he's played really safe. It's like the turnovers got in his head.
And that's what I think that maybe Daniel Jones being there pushes Eli to, you know, take some shots that maybe he normally wouldn't have taken because he knows that if he doesn't make plays and get points on the board, the Eve Hive is going to swarm.
Yep.
The Jones Hive.
He wasn't worried. He wasn't worried about it for the past years. He's like, who you gonna bench me for?
Yeah, and maybe this kickstarts him a little bit, and I think that's the only hope we have as Giant fans right now is because I think that the scare is that you're going to see much of the same during. I mean, the scare for Giant fans who are not members of the E Hive is that you're going to see much of the same football that we've seen over the course of the last 2 years. And that's the fear going into Dallas. If they come out in Dallas and they go 3-and-out, 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 we're at the end of the first quarter, they've had the ball for 6 plays. I mean, we're going to be like, oh fuck, like here we go again. Like you want to see like
And, and
your,
that's
your
gonna be a
starting
great
quarterback
test.
that's making that much money come out and all right, maybe you're not going to go down and put up 2 touchdowns on the first 2 possessions, but do you want to get a couple of first downs? Like, do you want to create some, momentum? So it'll be very interesting to see how that starts off, and they better start off out of the gate hot because if they don't, they're going to have a lot of questions to answer, and the heat's going to be on.
I think you hit it. I think Eli might play a whole lot better to start this season because I think you hit it right on the head of what he should be feeling. He, at this point, the second Daniel Jones got drafted, he's like, okay, they're not extending me. They already said it publicly. They're not extending me. So this is my last year with the Giants. Let's just go for it. He's like, if I don't make the play, I'm gonna be taken out. Either way, so let's go for the play. If it works, it
Yeah, if
works.
I keep checking it down and we're not scoring fucking points, I'm not gonna I'm gonna sit on the
So the
bench.
pressure might
If
have
I'm
actually
if I'm
been
pushing the
so
ball
much it took it off him.
downfield, I got a chance to put at least I got a greater chance of keeping my job by trying to score more points and pushing the ball downfield. I think hopefully that's his mentality is less safe, more let's make a play. But then the question says, okay, now that we go right back to what Justin said, can he make the throws that we just saw Daniel Jones
Very
make?
true.
Here we
But
go,
you know what? This is the
and
first
there's
time
your
I've
season.
seen, since really what? Since Kurt Warner, that there's competition for this job. So, you know what? Let's see how competitive Eli is. And just go for it. And I like the big receivers he's throwing to, and I think he definitely has a good rapport with Golden Tate. So he just has to get to week 5 to actually use it.
This just flashed across non-football related, but definitely worth mentioning, at least to Justin and I. Justin, the New
Yeah.
York Yankees have extended a crazy streak, 27 straight seasons with a winning record.
Gotta love the Yanks.
Ugh.
How about that?
You know, let's just talk about the Yankees a little bit. The Yankees are the Giants are sort of feeling a little bit like the Yankees this year. Going into the year, you would have thought maybe Judge was an MVP. Stanton is leading the league in home runs, and Luis Severino is a young candidate. Leading the AL in wins. But we're 40 games over 500.
Mm.
Stanton's played 9 games. DJ LeMahieu is going to be our MVP candidate. Gio Ursul is going to lead the AL in hitting. And Domingo Herman has 16 wins. We're 40 games over 500. It's a team of
And
underachievers
people
that are
and
overachieving.
do you believe people are upset that Cashman didn't make a trade at the deadline?
Wow. Listen, I mean,
No, but I like listen. I was upset that he didn't make a trade, but after all the good he's done and the players he's found, like how the fuck can you not just trust the man?
right. I
Right?
mean,
Like okay, like I was all like, okay, go get a pitcher, go get a pitcher, go get a pitcher, go get a pitcher, go get a pitcher. But when he didn't go get a pitcher, it was like, okay, he must know something I don't know. Right?
Ring,
Like
ring, 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 ring. It's Dave
maybe
Gettleman's on the phone. He
maybe the
said, check my
market,
resume.
yeah, maybe the
check.
market didn't maybe the market didn't say that maybe there was just too much to give up with some of the prices and he chose not
Well,
to. Maybe he liked some of the guys he got. Maybe he knows something about Betances and Severino coming back that we don't know. And he's like, why am I going to overpay now? My trade deadline could be Severino and Betances, who, I know are going to be ready. And both of them were seen, I think, as early as a couple of days ago throwing. So, or if not, if I saw that today or maybe yesterday, but it was recently, both of those guys are throwing. So we'll see what happens. But I was willing to at least give Cashman the benefit of the doubt because, going back, the Didi trade, how he's refaced. A couple of years ago, we were looking at the Yankee team and they were old, right? They were fucking fun to watch anymore. And he went into the trade deadline and he made some trades and he got some young pieces. And every move that he's made from there, like I really don't know how you could complain as a Yankee fan with how quickly they went from aging and you know high priced where or you were going to win because of the talent you had, but you really weren't a serious contender. To where now you have this abundance of youth and all these players that we're seeing. Um, they're in position to win for a long time. That's right.
I
Well,
just,
gentlemen, I am going to
I
call
just
it
want.
a wrap this evening. I have to work
That's
in the
fine. I
morning.
just wanted to know. I just want Gettleman wanted to say his two. After he saw what you just said about Cashman, Gettleman's like, yes, James. Why don't you give me the benefit of the doubt?
Because we don't have rings. You never as a
Well, he was
GM
there
won
he was there for
rings.
Super Bowl rings with
Yeah,
us.
as a scout.
Yeah, as a scout, as in somebody who actually chose the players
Somebody who
Who brought in?
recommended players. He recommended a bunch of players. He was like, I would take this guy if I was the GM, but I can recommend
Fumble.
this guy for the GM, right? I mean, come on, and let him do it as a general manager, and then we'll tip my cap. Right? And
And I
even when
just want to ask:
he went to
is
Carolina as the GM, he went to the Super Bowl, he lost.
I just want to put out there: is Danny Dimes the nickname?
I can't
looking
do.
at-
I'm Mr. Jones. I can't do Danny Dimes. I'm a grown man.
I like Mr. Jones and me.
Yeah, I like Mr. Jones.
Mr.
I think
Jones?
I think that's a good T-shirt. I think we can't put him on it, but we could put like his likeness on it, like an outline of it, right? And on the front of it says Mr. Jones, and on the back it says "and me."
Right.
I like that.
I,
So many T-shirts.
I'm not,
Full bloom love.
Yeah, I had
Danny
a friend.
Dimes. I kind of like Danny Dimes.
I can't do Danny Dimes. I don't know why. I don't. It sounds like a mafia name.
I had a
Sounds like
friend
a
text
sounds
me
like a mafia name of a guy you don't trust. Like that's Danny. He'll drop a dime on you. I don't want that guy. Right?
Well, it's
I don't
he
want
is
a rat.
dropping dimes. I mean, it's. I love the accuracy of this kid.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing it on Twitter. People put Danny Dimes.
Yeah, Twitter's they're real creative. Danny Dimes.
But
Mr. Jones. That's it. Simple, plain. His name, Mr. Jones. Why call him anything else? Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones.
well, if he
Danny
keeps playing like
Dimes.
he is, then he can have his own damn nickname. I don't
Yeah,
care what his
then
nickname
we
is.
may end up calling him Swag. That's what everybody else around him calls him. Although I don't like that nickname because that's Chad
No,
Kelly.
you know what? This I'm so sick of people using the word swag.
Hey, not my fault. I didn't give him the nickname. Don't yell at me.
It's kind of
His family calls him Swag. Like the people closest to him, they call him Swag. But I didn't like that because it's Chad Kelly. That's Chad Kelly's nickname for us.
Well, why don't you just call him? Why don't we just call him the straight Dimes?
How
Not
excited
Danny. Not Danny
are
Dimes.
you about
Just
Chad
Dimes.
Kelly?
Oh, how excited I am for Chad Kelly! I'm very excited. I I like him. I've always liked him.
Do you?
I don't like wishing injury on people, but I think that they should take their time with Andrew Luck because when I did record because there's something wrong with me. I recorded the Giants preseason game and then the replay of the Colts preseason game just so I could watch Chad Kelly. And I watched Brissett play, and then I watched Kelly play, and I was like, man, you can't tell me that fucking Chad Kelly is not a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett. So I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, they got 3 weeks. Uh, I'm hoping that the momentum keeps up for Kelly, and that
See, the
God
thing is, Chad
forbid
Kelly always had the
luck.
talent.
Oh my
The
God, he has
talent was
so
never
much talent. He has
the
so
talent was
much
never
talent.
the talent was
Dude,
never the talent was never
he
the issue.
took
It was how stupid he was.
he took a fucking shot, dude. Like he's playing with like the second stringers, right? So the fucking guy
Was it
comes
like the shot that Kyle
the dude, it was straight in his chest, helmet to chest, right? And he sees it coming. Like he sees the whole thing. He's like, all right, I'm fucked. This guy is gonna drill me. And you know what he does? He fires a fucking strike and takes the hit. And on the next play, right, it was a designed run. They called a fucking run. He reads the fucking corner dropping, right? Doesn't hand the ball off and takes off 35 yards by himself untouched for a touchdown. I mean, are you fucking kidding me?
He,
I've
well, he
I've never stood up during a preseason game and was like, run,
that wasn't the
run. I was
Giants?
like, run, Chad, you fuck, run. I was so happy for him because I always loved his talent and I loved his fucking moxie. He's got like a Phil Sims fucking moxie about him, and I love those guys. and he made a stupid decision, and I hope that
Well,
his talent
to be
and
fair, he made
supposedly his
multiple stupid decisions in college.
yeah, but those in college, like everybody makes stupid fucking decisions in college. Like
Yeah,
to
and
me,
but
a stupid decision in college is different than I'm about to be the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Let me meander into someone's house bombed and get chased out with a vacuum because I'm stumbling and mumbling on their fucking couch. Like different scenario, right? Like you want to steal a PlayStation in college, I can live with that. You got a chance to redeem yourself. You get an opportunity on the pros. You get that opportunity put in front of you to start, and then you blow it. Of course, for a different color. So he has to gain that trust back. He has to put in the work to do
Oh,
so.
a strike
Supposedly
from
he's done
Laletta.
that, but he's fucking slinging it, and he's always slung it.
well, I was like, when he came out, I was like, the only team I could really see him on, he should have went to Buffalo. Jim Jim Kelly's Jim Kelly's nephew pretty much taking over the Buffalo team would be
Where
pretty
he
fucking
is,
awesome.
where he ended up, to be honest with you, is the best place for him to possibly end up. He is with Frank Reich, who has a really close relationship with Jim Kelly,
Yeah.
and like I can you imagine? Can you God help you fucking all if fucking Andrew Luck's injury persists a little bit and Chad Kelly with that Colts team ends up fucking doing something? Can you imagine? Oh man, get me a jersey.
And then
I would
then he
jinx him
then he
immediately.
would go
Guys,
down.
guys,
I would jinx him immediately.
I think Chad Kelly more than I love Aldrich Rosas. Giddy.
You love yourself some Audric Roses.
By the way, did you guys see Laletta just threw a strike to Garrett Dickerson?
Yes.
Touchdown Giants.
Yep. Yeah. We got it. I got
Yeah.
it. I'm figuring it's preseason. We're lucky if anybody's even
Yeah,
listening at this
you
point.
know what? I'm not gonna lie, I don't really give a shit at this point.
Well, I think that I would have liked. I mean, that's a good ball by Laletta. It's a touchdown. I think that I would have rather have seen Laletta for the entire second half than Tanny because there's a chance that Laletta makes a couple of throws like that, and somebody calls you up and goes, "Hey, you know what? I'm the Philadelphia Eagles. I just had a ton of backup quarterbacks go down. You know, what do you want for Laletta?"
A first round pick because it's Philly.
Yeah, right. Let's not go crazy. How about the pick that we're gonna have to get? The pick that we gave them for fucking Golden Tate. We'll take that pick back.
No,
So
we didn't trade for Golden State, did we?
no, they get a comp pick because we signed Golden Tate.
Oh, well, it can't be that good since he doesn't even start playing until week 5.
Yeah, I have no clue what it's going to be, but you still gave them you still handed them a comp pick. I don't know. Don't get me started.
But I
Made a
do got to
good move.
say, as far as the stats wise, all our quarterbacks have a touchdown pass other than Alex Tanney.
How about that? Take that to the bank, Giant fans. Giant
Yeah.
Twitter, run with it.
And Eli's like, you screw you, Daniel Jones last week. I'm 4 for 4 for 42 yards and a touchdown. Eli was perfect this week.
Perfect pass.
You know, despite the fumbles, Danny Dimes was pretty decent this preseason
Wow.
game.
He's throwing out the
He jumped-
nickname
he
that
jumped
we was shitting on.
right to it. He's just right to it. Right to the Danny Dimes.
Is
The
that
defense
Ned
rests.
Ryerson?
Yes.
The defense rests.
You know what?
Ned here.
You're right, James. I don't like Danny Dimes.
Yeah, the defense rests after that. Mr. Jones. That solved it for me completely. Now I'll say this before I get off. I'm with you. I'm not worried about the fumbles. I thought the first fumble was more excitement after that pass, him getting up to the line, just pulling out from the snap a little early. That happens. They'll correct that. I think the second one was more on the offensive line. I put a little on him that he didn't feel the pressure, but it's something that they can go back on the film and very easily correct. So for the most part, what you're looking about are the throws that he made. And I think that the two throws down the left sideline were phenomenal. He anticipated his guys had leverage. They weren't wide open. He put the ball in a place where his receivers could make a play, and they did. I think another good throw that he made was the crossing route that got turned up the sideline by TJ Jones, where he put the ball right on the money. He didn't have to reach for the ball. All he had to do was keep running. And it was important there. So the accuracy, when he knows where he wants to go with the ball, um, I'm encouraged by how I see him throwing the ball. The thing that we need to see now, and the thing that we need to wait for as Giant fans, is when the defense doesn't give him what he wants. When that's not there, is he able to reset, get through the progressions, and then make another throw? And I think that
I
you
agree
saw
with
him.
that.
He saw a couple of times tonight. I think that he didn't have that. There was a throw to the left that came up short that looked like he might have struggled with. And then there was another throw on that drive on the third down that he might have struggled with as well. Now, all correctable things, but let's not go ape shit with the kissing of his ass yet before we evaluate this thing on a whole. So let's be fair. And encouragement is, we should all be encouraged and excited by what we saw, but there's still a long way to go in the progression of a young quarterback.
Well,
So,
and to go with that is it's gonna be nice to see him when he finally does start with Saquon, because I think really the play action plays could be really good with him.
And I mean, maybe this is. I don't obviously don't know what the Giants coaching staff is thinking, but I feel like Daniel Jones has earned at least the ability to take some reps in game 3 when they'll actually have the starting defense out, like preseason game 3, where it's like an act like you know.
No, you know what? I totally agree with you, Ned. Because the fact is, Eli doesn't need all these reps. Give Daniel Jones some reps with the starters against starters. So
yeah,
I
well,
totally agree with you.
that ship has sailed, because now in the first two preseason games, they have started both games with Eli Manning, and they have led you to believe that I mean, at this point, I think the only game that you would potentially not see Eli in is week 4 of preseason. I think that you will see Eli next week. I think that they will go about doing their due diligence with possibly only playing Eli into the second quarter and then letting Jones play into the third quarter with the starters. And then I think in week 4, you'll go and Daniel Jones will probably get the start in that game and play the majority of that game. With the rest of the roster. So I think that's what we're going to see right now. I would
See,
have
I don't think week
leaned
4
towards
that'll
with
be the
you guys
case.
as
I
well that
agree
they
with
should have played Eli, but
I
that's gone. That ship's
I
sailed.
agree with you on the next week's game, but this week's game I think Dan Jones get like the first few series. They'll take him out because he's making the team. They got to see if Alex Tanny or Valletta's making the squad.
What this week coming up in week 3?
Or no, in week 4. In week
Week
4,
4, yeah, but I mean, you're not going to play. Jones is going to play that game.
no, he's gonna play,
I
but
got
I don't
news.
think he's gonna play more
Jones
than
is going
like
to play.
two or three series.
No, yeah, I wouldn't play him long, but he would get the start, and then you're going to see the majority of the other guys. Like I think next week is in the dress rehearsal. I don't think that you're going to see, at least if it was me, you wouldn't see Tanny or Laletta, because I want well, you may see incorrect. You're going to see one of them in the fourth quarter. You're not going to see both of them, because I'm going to play my
Mm,
starter into the third. So I'm not going to,
true.
I'm going to play one guy after that. So, somebody's going to have to snatch that job in practice and with the little time that they have, because there's just not a lot of snaps left anymore.
Yeah, and guys, we're only 2 weeks away from regular season.
2 weeks away from the regular season. Say it loud, say it proud. Sunday night in Dallas. Gotta love it. All right,
On,
I'm
boys.
going to bed. I love you
All right,
guys.
later.
Bleed Big Blue always. Thank you for listening.
Peace.
Later.
You guys are good. Keep going if you want. Love you.
I mean, we got a fumble, so that happened.
Well, I'm out, Ned. But
Well, then I think that's the end of the stream. because I'm not carrying it. Oh. Look at this
Go ahead,
little
carry.
guy.
Do your thing, Ned.
Hillman making a
Yeah.
nice run, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna carry this stream for that long. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good, man. We're done anyway,
Yeah,
and
I
we got through
wanted
the
to come.
preseason
I wanted to
game
come in here,
relatively healthy. That's all we care.
I just wanted to come in, mess a little, drop the
Yep.
Danny Dimes nickname.
And Ned, would you please close your window?
It's not open though.
I,
No, it isn't.
all right. Later, Ned.
See ya.